Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Mully and Haw talk Cubs baseball and Chicago sports every weekday morning from 5:30 to 10 on 670 The Score and the Odyssey app. Cubs hosting Seattle. This is the Cubs radio pregame show driven by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Buick and GMC dealers. It is time now for the inside pitch. We say hello to Score baseball insider Bruce Levine. Quite a day yesterday here at the Friendly Confines.
Certainly was, Zach. After having his day Friday at the Friendly Confines for the first time in 21 years, Sammy Sosa made his only live appearance on the Scores inside the clubhouse today. Sammy was asked if baseball's soft approach to Pete Rose coming off of the suspended list could impact in a positive way himself and other stars getting a second look despite possible use of performance-enhancing drugs.
I believe that this is a great a great opportunity for baseball. People, the number that people have is incredible. As a play, as a person, individual person, I don't have nothing to do with that. But I think once we take that decision, I think it's opened the door in the future. I guess it's still too early. But I believe that if you get into the Hall of Fame, the rest of us, including myself, Barry Bond, Roger Clemens.
Zach, Sosa was not just a superstar. His career added value to the franchise that was bought by the Ricketts family 5 years after Sosa left for $855,000 from the Tribune, who paid $21 million to buy it from the Wrigley's.
Great stuff, Bruce. And you wonder how this is going to play out going forward here. Tickets still available for tomorrow's game against the Mariners. Be here for it. Get your tickets at Cubs.com/tickets. Coming up, the Cubs make a move next on The Score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Dansby Swanson. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Mom, what happens at the end of Goldilocks?
Well, the Bears were too nice to kick Goldilocks out, but they wanted her to find her own place. So they told her about Redfin.
But I thought
Redfin updates its listings every 2 minutes and gives personalized recommendations. So Goldilocks found something that was just right for her.
And lived happily ever after?
Yep, in a cute house by the beach with no bears.
Download the Redfin app to get started. Equal Housing Opportunity, CADRE, number 01521930.
For those in the market for flavor, there's Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas. With flavors like pineapple, hibiscus, watermelon, and cucumber lime. Try Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas. Boldly authentic, vibrantly flavorful. Drink responsibly. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas flavored beers imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
20% off sunglasses from Shadon Precision Eyewear. Hurry over to SeeBetterPlayBetter.com and use promo code SPRING. See better and play better with Shadon. That's SeeBetterPlayBetter.com. Promo code SPRING.
Shopping is hard.
Nothing ever fits.
Everything I own was a birthday present.
I got this Hawaiian shirt on vacation 10 years ago, and now I'm the Hawaiian shirt guy.
There's a better way. Make it easy with Stitch Fix. Just share your size, style, and budget, and done. Your personal stylist sends pieces picked just for you.
That was easy.
Stitch Fix. Online personal styling for everyone. Free shipping and returns. No subscription required. Get started today at StitchFix.com.
Summer's on the horizon. How's that outdoor space of yours looking? Yeah, right? Well, from patios and pool decks to garden walls, walkways, and driveways, Unilock transforms outdoor spaces with beauty and durability. What you see as ordinary, Unilock sees as extraordinary. We bring your vision to life with the widest variety of products, textures, and colors in Chicago. To match any style, explore our collection at unilock.com and get inspired. Order your catalog today. Unilock, transforming hardscapes.
All Cubs, triples, and saves are sponsored by Great Lakes Credit Union, Chicago's credit union. Join GLCU's mission of banking for a greater good at glcu.org. Cubs home versus Seattle. This is the Cubs radio pregame show driven by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Buick and GMC dealers. Time now to check on who's hot and cold. Sponsored by Plumbers 911. Plumbing emergency, call the professionals. Available 24/7 at 1-833-PLUM-911. Kyle Tucker's hitting .391 over his last 7 games, but no home runs, no RBIs. The cold, Seiya Suzuki hitting .179 over his last 7 with 2 homers and 5 RBIs. The injury report is sponsored by Illinois Bone and Joint Institute. Visit IBJI.com for locations and services. We'll get the latest on Shota Imanaga and the manager's show in a little bit. Cubs making a move, though. Left-hander Genesis Cabrera designated for assignment. Right-hander Nate Pearson is back with the Cubs. Coming up, Nico next on The Score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the Chicagoland area on the free Odyssey app. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs radio network.
How did Ella make her way to the top? It all started with one smart decision. She test drove a certified used truck from her local Ford dealer. It was inspected, backed by a Ford warranty, and fit her budget. A Carfax report was the cherry on top. Soon, a pinch of confidence became a truckload of ambition. Cupcakes became customers. Customers became regulars. Hola. Turns out, Ella's next great investment was herself. Ford Blue Advantage. Used car buying that's built for you. See dealer for full program and limited warranty details.
If you're in the market for a unique flavor, grab Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, inspired by a flavorful Mexican classic that is perfect for any fiesta. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, boldly authentic, vibrantly flavorful. Drink responsibly. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas flavored beers imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
So, I was just parking my car, and then I saw you, the gecko. Huge fan.
I'm always honored to meet fans out in the wild.
The honor is mine. I just love being able to file a claim in under 2 minutes with the Geico app.
Well, the Geico app is top-notch.
I know you get asked this all the time, but could you sign it?
Sign what? The app? Yeah, sure.
Oh, that means so much. Oh, it rubbed off the screen when I touched it. Could you sign it again?
Anything to help, I suppose.
You're the best.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Cubs Mariners at Wrigley Field as we approach the top of the hour. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Listen to the Cubs game in FM quality at 104.3 HD2 FM on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network. We are WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, an Odyssey sports station.
Cubs hosting Seattle. This is the Cubs radio pregame show driven by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Buick and GMC dealers. In our Cubs conversation, there's an excessive heat warning in Chicago today. It'll feel hotter than 100 degrees on the field for Nico Horner and the rest of the players.
It'll be warm out there, but it's part of summer baseball. I think, you probably get a split opinion on that when you ask pitchers versus hitters, considering it's blowing out 20 miles an hour today, which we haven't seen too often this year. So I think the position player group is okay with that any day. But yeah, it'll be a little hot out there, but just part of playing at Wrigley, dealing with different things throughout the year. It's part of what makes the ballpark unique and fun, and different parts of the year are, that really feels different playing here in April versus July, and then hopefully October too.
Yeah, you guys have had some extreme conditions at Wrigley all season long. When you're driving to the park, are you checking the flags immediately as you get in the area?
Yeah, I usually know the kind of the wind expected pattern for the homestand beforehand, but when I drive down Lakeshore, if the water's flat and calm, that means the wind's blowing out. And if it's got the waves coming in, then the other way around. So yeah.
So that's the Stanford education. I never used to think that way. Does it change the way you approach at bats based on the wind pattern?
I think my profile as a hitter probably impacted less than other guys on a team that are driving the ball in the air more consistently. But I think it can. I think the best hitters don't really let it impact them too much. I think there are times when the wind's blowing in that can make you a little passive as a hitter, and just with less opportunities for slug out there. But I think the difference is more so on the base running side. A lot of times it's just kind of interesting, just like there's less room for risk, I think, when the wind's blowing out, just because the home run and those outs are that much more valuable and more on the table. So not that you want to shut it down, but there's more when it's 1-2 run games, low scoring games with the wind blowing in. There's a little more room for taking risk and taking that extra 90 feet versus like a 10-8 game or some of those crazy ones we've seen.
When it feels like it's hotter than 100 out there and you're out in the field, what can you do to escape it, if you will, or you just have to deal with it?
I prefer like hot games to really cold personally, but just part of it. We go to St. Louis this upcoming week too, so just what you sign up for with summer baseball, and easy to stay loose. So we got time to go down under if we need to get in the AC or whatever, but it shouldn't be too bad.
I asked Dansby Swanson this the other day. I said, up the middle, when you look at the Cubs defense, who's the best defender? What do you think he said?
I don't know. I think Pete's probably impacted the game most this year. The thing about being an outfielder, you make a great diving play. It goes from being an extra base hit to an out versus an infielder. It's a single a lot of the time. So I think that, that makes a huge difference. But yeah, I'm curious what Dansby said.
See, I agree with you. He skillfully navigated it and said the thing that impresses him is just around the field, every position. Yeah. The Cubs are really good defensively.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good, hard question to answer. So, I mean, I guess let the tale of 162 act that out. But even then, it's there's so many different ways to value defenders. And, obviously there's so many great resources for analyzing baseball at this point. But even within that, like, you can kind of paint whatever picture you want, a lot of the time being selective with stats. So, yeah, we're fortunate to have that be a tough conversation.
As a fellow major leaguer, when you watch, and you talked about PCA a little bit, when you watch him, what stands out to you?
I appreciate like the passion that he plays the game with, and he gets excited, animated, frustrated, whatever you want to call it. But what I really appreciate that is his energy is always directed towards the next play and to winning, and that's all that we care about as teammates. And there's a million different ways to carry yourself as a professional, and I appreciate that he always is directing his energy towards the next play and competing at a high level every day, because his style of play is a very demanding one physically and mentally, and just impressive that he's been able to bring it every single day the way he does.
You're an intense player, but you don't show it in a demonstrative way. Is that something that you consciously went about trying to be?
Yeah, I mean, I think growing up, like I definitely had trouble controlling my emotions as like a kid, probably till I was like, 14, 15. And then, the game of baseball rewards guys that are, able to be a little more like, I don't want to say flat, but even, right? And I think playing every day like emphasizes that, but at the same time, like, you feel emotions incredibly strong, and it shows up different ways in different guys. And I think as long as you're being genuine with it and your energy is going towards winning and the next pitch, next moment, then there's no right or wrong way about it.
Yeah, that's what makes the team dynamic fun. Nico, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you. Anytime.
Always fun chatting with Nico Horner. During the Mariners series, the 50-50 raffle will feature a guaranteed $50,000 jackpot. Fans in Illinois can purchase tickets at cubs.com/raffle or from a raffle ambassador at Wrigley through the 8th inning of each game. Coming up, the Manager's Show next on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Talking Cubs Monday through Friday with Rahimi and Harris, 10 a.m. to 2 on The Score.
At Mayo Clinic, we are conquering the unconquerable. Our experts are leading the way with innovative regenerative medicines and biotherapeutics that can repair diseased, injured, or defective tissues and organs to help treat people with chronic medical conditions. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic, you know where to go.
So, I was just parking my car, and then I saw you. The gecko. Huge fan.
I'm always honored to meet fans out in the wild.
The honor's mine. I just love being able to file a claim in under 2 minutes with the Geico app.
Well, the Geico app is top-notch.
I know you get asked this all the time, but could you sign it?
Sign what? The app? Yeah, sure.
Oh, that means so much. Oh, it rubbed off the screen when I touched it. Could you sign it again?
Anything to help, I suppose.
You're the best.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
When Ram won its first Motor Trend Truck of the Year, it was celebrated. But after 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. And now, so does the deal with Employee Pricing Plus. Stop by your local dealer today and take home a Ram truck. Ram, 7-time Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Nothing stops Ram.
Offer valid on select 2024 and 2025 Rams for non-FCA employees and retirees. $200 admin fee applies. Not all buyers will qualify. Restrictions apply. Does not apply to leases. See dealer for details. And 6/30/25. Ram is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years, guaranteed, on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit the Berwyn Verizon store at 7160 Shermack Road today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Cubs Mariners at Wrigley Field. Time now to hear from Cubs manager Greg Counsell, sponsored by the Village of New Lenox, leading the way in residential and economic development. Shota Imanaga had a rehab outing yesterday for Iowa. Here's the latest.
Everything went great. Did what we hoped he would do. He's in a position to be ready. So he's going to join us in St. Louis, and we'll figure out the next steps.
How did Boyd come up today?
We're still kind of just, he's what's to be expected. I don't think we're going to know anything here for a couple days. It's just a swelling issue, and we just want to make sure, it's going to go away as the days go on. It's going to get better. Well, we just don't want to make sure as we get close to the start that it's impacting him.
Why do you have to skip him?
I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I think we'll give ourselves a couple more days before we think about that. Right now, he's on schedule to pitch, and if we get closer to that and he's unable to kind of have a normal, 4 days in between starts, and then we'll reevaluate.
Just to be clear with Shota, there's a chance he could start in St. Louis?
Yeah, he's gonna make his next start at the big leagues.
How cool is that? The next time we see Shota Imanaga on the mound, it'll be with the Cubs here in the majors. When we come back, the baseball board next on The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Matt Shaw. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
As a community bank, Cornerstone National Bank and Trust Company offers a full service of banking options. From checking and savings accounts for you and your family, to residential mortgages for your new home and loans for your small business. With branches in Crystal Lake, Deer Park, Palatine, Naperville, and Schaumburg, and 100 local employees, no matter your banking need, you will find that Cornerstone is where you belong. Visit our website at cnbtc.bank today to learn more.
Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
5 de la mañana. Empiezo el día con un refrescante Celsius Energy Drink. Hoy me toca correr 12 millas. Me tomo un jugo verde, me cambio y a trabajar. Reuniones, talleres, otro Celsius. Vamos con todo. Trabajo hasta tarde, pero obvio salgo con mis amigas a bailar. Celsius. Live. Fit. Go. Consigue un Celsius frío y refrescante en tu tienda más cercana o búscalo en Celsius.com.
Central Rug and Floors is your local design center and full-service flooring destination, proudly serving the North Shore with an unbeatable selection of carpet, hardwood, tile, waterproof flooring, and more. Providing professional carpet cleaning and bathroom remodeling solutions. Shop premium brands, including Kerastan Black Label. Refined styling with beautiful, long-lasting performance and flawless craftsmanship with one-of-a-kind patterns and colorations. Visit the Evanston showroom today or centralrugandfloors.com. Central Rug and Floors, your local design center, bringing you more selection, services, and savings.
Lowe's knows to bring your vision to life, it's important to find the right color. That's why MyLowe's Rewards members get a free paint or exterior stain sample to test your look and find the perfect color to confidently refresh your space. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid in-store only 6/19 through 6/25. Limit 1 per customer while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See associate for details. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
A spring day is the most righteous time to hit up your group chat, grab an ice-cold Mountain Dew with a refreshing citrus kick, and get outside. Because when the outdoors calls, it's good to have exhilarating ice-cold refreshment to answer.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me a river, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew.
Do the dew.
Cubs hosting Seattle. Who are you banking on? Is sponsored by UC Bank. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. I'm banking on Michael Busch, who had 3 hits yesterday and is now hitting .304 over his last 7 games. Now let's pause as we get set for the playing of the anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? In the home of the brave.
That's a wow. John Vincent performing the national anthem this afternoon at Wrigley Field. The national anthem sponsored by Patriot Pavement Maintenance, simplifying pavement maintenance for industrial, commercial, and educational clients. Time now for the pitching matchup, sponsored by Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Enjoy the laid-back experience of Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Cubs will send the rookie right-hander Cade Horton to the hill. 3-1, a 3.47 ERA. He went toe-to-toe with Paul Skeens last Friday, throwing scoreless baseball for 5 2/3. Fellow right-hander Emerson Hancock going for Seattle 3-2 with a 4.48 ERA in 12 starts. Around baseball, sponsored by Great Clips, it's going to be great. Couple of games in progress. The Rays all over the Tigers, 8-1 now, top of the 8th in Tampa. Former Cub Christopher Morel going deep for the Rays, his 6th home run of the year. The Yankees all over the Orioles, 6-0 now in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Ben Rice with his 13th home run of the year for the Bronx Bombers. Here at Wrigley Field, it's time for baseball. Cubs, Mariners, Pat, Ron, next on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk with Spiegel and Holmes on your ride home. Afternoons 2 to 6 on The Score.
As a community bank, Cornerstone National Bank and Trust Company offers a full service of banking options. From checking and savings accounts for you and your family to residential mortgages for your new home and loans for your small business. With branches in Crystal Lake, Deer Park, Palatine, Naperville, and Schaumburg, and 100 local employees, no matter your banking need, you will find that Cornerstone is where you belong. Visit our website at cnbtc.bank today to learn more.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
5 de la mañana. Empiezo el día con un refrescante Celsius Energy Drink. Hoy me toca correr 12 millas. Me tomo un jugo verde, me cambio y a trabajar. Reuniones, talleres, otro Celsius. Vamos con todo. Trabajo hasta tarde, pero obvio salgo con mis amigas a bailar. Celsius. Live. Fit. Go. Consigue un Celsius frío y refrescante en tu tienda más cercana o búscalo en Celsius.com.
Central Rug and Floors is your local design center and full-service flooring destination since 1925, providing the North Shore with unmatched selection of elegant carpet, hardwood, tile, and waterproof flooring, as well as expert flooring installation, carpet cleaning, and bathroom remodeling. Choose from premium flooring brands, including Shaw, Anderson Tough Tex, and Pet Perfect Carpeting for style and durability you can count on. Visit the Evanston showroom today or centralrugandfloors.com. Central Rug and Floors, your local design center, bringing you more selection, services, and savings.
This Odyssey Sports broadcast is brought to you by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico.
And now, Odyssey and 670 The Score bring you Chicago Cubs baseball on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Chicago, this is Ian Happ.
Base hit into right. Cubs win the ball game. Ian Happ, a game-winning single.
Hey, it's Nico Horner.
Diving backhand stop by Horner, throws to first to get it. Sensational play.
Hey, it's Kyle Tucker.
Drives one in the air to right field. That ball is gone. It's a 3-run homer.
This is what you came in for. You got
the Cubs game on the score.
Chicago Cubs baseball is presented to you in part by Benny's Beverage Depot, Nissan, Benjamin Moore, Hefty Trash Bags, Thorough Tire, James Hardy Building Products, Sea Glass Wine, Volvo, Sloan, Xfinity, It's Not a Game, Illinois.com, your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, and Yingling, the oldest brewery in America. And now here's the Hall of Famer, Pat Hughes, and All-Star Ron Coomer with all the exciting play-by-play action of Chicago Cubs baseball.
Chicago Cubs baseball is on the air from Wrigley Field in Chicago. It's game 2 of this 3-game weekend series between the Chicago Cubs and the Seattle Mariners. Good afternoon, everybody. Along with former Cub and All-Star Ron Coomer, it's Pat Hughes reporting. Zach Zaidman working alongside. We all thank you for joining us. It's a scorcher here, the first day of summer, and it is a hot day at the ballpark. 92 degrees at game time. Wind is blowing straight out. It's almost a guarantee there will be a lot of action in this ball game today. Starting pitchers, right-handers. Cade Horton starting for the Cubs. Cade off to a very good start as a big leaguer, 3-1 so far. And Emerson Hancock with a record of 3-2. He'll start for the Mariners. Let's go ahead and get right to the starting lineups for today's game. As Seattle will line up this way on this Saturday. The lineups, by the way, are sponsored by Verizon, the most reliable 5G in Chicago. J.P. Crawford leads off at shortstop. The Mariners' number 2 batter is center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Cal Raleigh catching. Jorge Polanco, the designated hitter. Randy Arozarena batting 5th and playing in left field. Luke Raley in right field. The first baseman batting 7th is Donovan Solano. Cole Young at second base, and batting 9th and playing at third base, Ben Williamson. Those are the Mariners. The Cubs take the field. We're going to take a timeout and come right back and get you the Cubs lineup momentarily. You are listening to The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Chicago Cubs memories are made right here with Pat, Ron, and Zach on the Cubs Radio Network.
Get ready for July 4th with early savings at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances and get an additional 10% off 2 or more select major appliances. Plus, get 3 Stay Green or premium 2 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. These deals are coming in hot. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 6/25. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Morning decisions. A creamy mocha frappuccino drink? A sweet vanilla? Maybe a smooth caramel or that white chocolate mocha. Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Start your day with bottled Starbucks Frappuccino drinks. Pick up a bottle near you wherever you buy your groceries.
So, I was just parking my car and then I saw you, the gecko. Huge fan.
I'm always honored to meet fans out in the wild.
The honor is mine. I just love being able to file a claim in under 2 minutes with the Geico app.
Well, the Geico app is top notch.
I know you get asked this all the time, but could you sign it?
Sign what? The app? Yeah, sure.
Oh, that means so much. Oh, it rubbed off the screen when I touched it. Could you sign it again?
Anything to help, I suppose.
You're the best.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
It's game time. Time to crack open a Yingling. After 196 years, the wait is over. Yingling is finally available here in Illinois. Look for it at your favorite bar or store. Yingling, the oldest brewery in America. And Patrick, a hot, steamy, windy day here at Wrigley. Cubs need to balance the books against Seattle. Seattle put it to the Cubs yesterday. Cubs turn today.
Mariners beat the Cubs 9-4 in the opener run. And now it's time for game 2. The left-handed batting J.P. Crawford leads it off against the young right-hander Cade Horton. And the first pitch is taken high, and away we go. Let's get you the Cubs lineup. Ian Happ leads off in left. Kyle Tucker in right. Seiya Suzuki, the DH, batting third. The next pitch is taken down low for ball 2. Pete Crow Armstrong, the cleanup man, in center. Dansby Swanson at shortstop. Michael Bush batting sixth at first base. Horton missing outside, 3-0. Carson Kelly catching, Kelly batting seventh. Nico Horner at second base, and Vidal Brujan getting a start at third base and batting ninth. 3-0 pitch right down the middle. Ron, as you think about Cade Horton facing these Seattle Mariners, what's on your mind?
Well, first and foremost, you got to do your very best to try to keep the ball in the ballpark.
Fastball strike two called. Crawford ready to take his base. He thought that might have been wide, I believe.
Yeah, I think they're even now. The second pitch of the ball game was a strike, and Whitson missed it. It was at the bottom of the zone, so now it's even.
And the payoff pitch. Ground ball, second base, fielded by Horner. Short toss to first, in time to retire a jogging J.P. Crawford, out number one, and the batter is Julio Rodriguez.
I think if you're Horton today, you've just got to pitch your game, right? You can't think about every pitch that you make going out of the ballpark. I really think that's a tough way to play if you're pitching. Throw your best stuff, try to work back and forth a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's maybe the best hitter's day we've had all year long. Wind howling out. The gusts are going to be somewhere around 30 miles an hour to straight center.
Julio Rodriguez, he's got some power, Ron, with 10 home runs. He's swung and missed, and now he takes inside. 1-1. No score, just underway. Game time temperature 92, sponsored by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Swinging a foul back, 1-2. Four Seasons, your trusted local experts. Good sellout crowd on hand. Ron, you and I were kind of wondering why the lights would be turned on early in the afternoon on a bright, sunny, hot day. Here's the 1-2. And that's going to be taken down low for ball two.
Wow.
Well, that didn't miss by much.
No, it didn't miss. Slider at bottom of the zone. It's second pitch that's been a slider down. Whitson is not called, and they've both been strikes.
This one is in the dirt now, 3-2.
It could be a very, very long day for the pitchers if the home plate umpire is squeezing the strike zone, Chad Whitson. It is one of those days where pitchers are going to be hoping to get as many pitches as they can with the wind blowing out.
Fastball is taken high for ball four.
That was in the zone, too. That's the third pitch that's hit the strike zone that has not been called in the first two hitters.
Yeah, that could definitely have been called strike three, but it's a base on balls to Julio Rodriguez. 1 out, 1 on. Rodriguez, 12 steals. He's been caught 3 times. And the left-handed batting Cal Raleigh, a switch hitter, leads the majors in home runs with 29, swings and fouls it back. And he put on quite a show yesterday, Ron.
Really did. First at bat, first pitch he saw, just a line drive bullet that just cleared the basket. What a bullet. And then he hit one out onto Waveland Avenue down the left field line, a long home run. 2 bombs in the game.
Now the 0-1 from Horton to Cal Raleigh. It's fouled at the plate. A check swing, 0-2.
Good fastball so far today for Horton. He's topped out so far at 95 miles an hour. Speed gun is always powered by Xfinity. It's seriously powerful Wi-Fi. Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
Raleigh yesterday broke a long record held by Johnny Bench for the most home runs by a catcher in the big leagues before the All-Star break. Bench did it back in 1970. He had 28, and now Raleigh has 29. And still a few days left here before the end of June. In fact, the All-Star game is still almost 3 weeks away.
Yeah, think of that. He's going to have 30 home runs as a starting catcher before the All-Star break.
The lead at first by Rodriguez, leaning at first. And a throw over, and they got him. You could tell he was leaning. And Horton made an excellent throw to Bush, who slapped the tag on him. No argument from the Mariners. That's a big out, number 2.
Boy, on days like today, we talk about it all the time. You do not want to make outs on the bases with the wind howling out. And then in particular with the league's home run leader at the plate. Big out for the Cubs.
2 down, nobody on, and Raleigh swings and misses. No runs for Seattle, no hits, and there's no score at the end of half an inning. This is The Score, and the Cubs are coming up on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Listen for great Cubs guests all season long on The Score, official radio home of the Cubs.
As a community bank, Cornerstone National Bank and Trust Company offers a full service of banking options. From checking and savings accounts for you and your family, to residential mortgages for your new home and loans for your small business. With branches in Crystal Lake, Deer Park, Palatine, Naperville, and Schaumburg, and 100 local employees, no matter your banking need, you will find that Cornerstone is where you belong. Visit our website at cnbtc.bank today to learn more.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Central Rug and Floors is your local design center and full-service flooring destination. Proudly serving the North Shore with an unbeatable selection of carpet, hardwood, tile, waterproof flooring, and more. Providing professional carpet cleaning and bathroom remodeling solutions. Shop premium brands, including Karastan Black Label. Refined styling with beautiful, long-lasting performance and flawless craftsmanship with one-of-a-kind patterns and colorations. Visit the Evanston showroom today or centralrugandfloors.com. Central Rug and Floors, your local design center, bringing you more selection, services, and savings.
Lowe's knows to bring your vision to life, it's important to find the right color. That's why Milo's Rewards members get a free paint or exterior stain sample to test your look and find the perfect color to confidently refresh your space. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid in-store only 6/19 through 6/25. Limit 1 per customer while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See associate for details. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Cubs leadoff man is Ian Happ, and it's presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. If Ian gets a base hit, Benny's Beverage Depot donates $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Right-hander Emerson Hancock is on the mound today. Ron, what's the plan against him?
Well, I just think for the Cubs hitters, he likes to pitch somewhat up in the zone, even though he's a sinker slider guy, but he does not throw the ball down a lot. And to me, if you get that sinker up, those are the balls that usually go a long way.
Happ hits a drive into deep left center. Back goes Arosarena. It's got a chance. Gone. A home run for Ian Happ.
Just like that.
You were just saying it would go a long way, and within a second, Ian hits an opposite field home run to left, over toward left center, and the Cubs lead 1-0. Ian now has homered 3 consecutive days, and the Cubs are off to a 1-0 lead.
He's got a sinker ball arm action, but they're trying to get him to pitch up in the zone. To me, that adds up to getting a lot of pitches in the middle of the plate and up to hit. That ball about mid-thigh to Ian, and he deposited it in the left field bleachers.
Kyle Tucker swings and fouls it away. It's another hefty home run. Official trash bag of the Chicago Cubs. Hefty. Strength that's anything but ordinary. Number 10 for Ian Happ, his 35th run batted in. Here comes the 0-1 from Hancock. Swinging a high fly ball. Deep right center. This ball's got a chance. Gone. Cubs go back-to-back. Kyle Tucker with a long home run to right center, and the Cubs lead 2-0.
Keep your reads close, partner. Ball is a flying at Wrigley, and the two-seam fastball that Hancock is throwing is up in the zone, and just like I said, that makes for a lot of balls into the barrel of the bat getting elevated. That's good for the Cubs today.
Number 14 for Tucker, his 44th RBI, a high drive, just kept sailing over the 368 marker. And here's Seiya Suzuki taking outside. Another hefty home run. Official trash bag of the Chicago Cubs. Hefty. Strength that's anything but ordinary. The RBI sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old. Old National Bank. Suzuki 1 for 3 in yesterday's game. One thing I noticed, Ron, and you have too, I'm sure, when the wind is blowing straight out to center, and for most of the morning and early afternoon it has been, the ball carries to all fields.
Yeah, everywhere.
Many times it'll carry mainly to left or mainly to right. But today, I think anything in the air to the middle of the diamond between the alleys has a chance of leaving.
Absolutely. The routine fly balls in batting practice were landing on the track.
Suzuki swings and misses strike 3, and that's out number 1.
And the balls semi-hit hard to the outfield, running up into bleachers. And then if you really teed off on one, it wasn't staying in the ballpark.
This could be one of those days where you might see a ball player clobber one off that old-fashioned green scoreboard in dead center, way up above the bleachers. Pete Crow Armstrong, the batter. The pitch to Pete. Hit in the air, foul, deep to left, and out of play. To hit one off the scoreboard in center, you're talking probably about 500 feet.
Yeah. That's
490, 480, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it's a long way and way up there. I mean, you got to get it elevated too, which the wind will help with all that today. Seen some long ones hit the center field, that's for sure.
Pete Crow Armstrong with 20 leads the team in home runs. Swings and misses in the count 1-2. Cubs lead 2-0. Pete nothing for 4 yesterday. In kind of an oddity, he fouled out 3 times and struck out. Wearing the powder blue batting gloves on each hand. And he hits a ground ball foul to first. Cubs wearing their home whites, the blue pinstripes all over, blue hats and helmets, blue sleeves and numbers, white shirts and trousers, blue socks, a variety of shoe colors. The 1-2 swinging a foul back. The Mariners in their traveling unis, the navy blue shirts with kind of a bluish green color of numbers on their backs. Gray trousers, dark blue hats with a green S. Swing and a miss, and Crow Armstrong is out number 2. So back-to-back homers and now back-to-back strikeouts after the first 4 batters. And Dansby Swanson coming up. Uniform description sponsored by Benjamin Moore. On the field or the walls of your home, the right team and colors make all the difference. Official paint of the Chicago Cubs, Benjamin Moore. Swanson 0 for 4 yesterday. Takes outside, ball 1.
First inning sponsored by Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors Incorporated.
Cubs have lost a couple. They lost the finale to Milwaukee on Thursday. Dropped the opener to these Mariners yesterday. Still 4-3 on the homestand with 2 more to go. Bounced out towards short, scooped up by Crawford, throws to first, and one shortstop has just bounced out to the other. But the Cubs scored twice. Home runs by Happ and Tucker. At the end of 1, Cubs 2, Mariners nothing on the Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Nico Horner. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Central Rug and Floors is your local design center and full-service flooring destination, proudly serving the North Shore with an unbeatable selection of carpet, hardwood, tile, waterproof flooring, and more, providing professional carpet cleaning and bathroom remodeling solutions. Shop premium brands, including Kerastan Black Label, refined styling with beautiful, long-lasting performance and flawless craftsmanship with one-of-a-kind patterns and colorations. Visit the Evanston showroom today or centralrugandfloors.com. Central Rug and Floors, your local design center, bringing you more selection, services, and savings.
Get ready for July 4th with early savings at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances and get an additional 10% off 2 or more select major appliances. Plus, get 3 Stay Green or premium 2 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. These deals are coming in hot. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 6/25. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Morning decisions. A creamy mocha frappuccino drink? A sweet vanilla? Maybe a smooth caramel? Or that white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Start your day with bottled Starbucks Frappuccino drinks. Pick up a bottle near you wherever you buy your groceries.
Top 2, Cubs 2, Seattle nothing. Our second inning is brought to you by Sea Glass Wines, official partner of the Cubs, bringing the California coast to you wherever you are. Pat?
The entire coast, Zach? That's, never mind. We go to the second inning. Jorge Polanco will lead off and take a strike.
Zach brought
Polanco,
the whole
DH.
coast back again?
I'm sorry?
He brought the whole coast back again?
He did. It sounds like a monstrous undertaking. Here's the 0-1 pitch taken down low for a ball.
I don't know how he made it back to the ballpark in time for the broadcast.
Let me ask you this. Would you be going at full speed or would you be coasting?
There we go,
Here
folks.
comes the 1-1. A swing and a foul at the plate.
We're having fun now.
Sort of. Might be the wrong time for this one, but Ron, it's the first day of summer unless you're a hitchhiker, and then it's the first day of thummer. I tried one too many. Here's the 1-2 pitch.
Oh.
Just outside and the count 2-2.
Where's that McMahon when you need him?
Here's the 2-2. It's down low for a ball. 3-2 on Jorge Polanco.
Old summer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, haven't
thumbed the ride lately?
Haven't ever. No, I hitchhiked once in my life, and you know when it was. Yeah. It was with the late great Al McGuire. Outside, and Polanco gets the leadoff walk. And if you're only going to hitchhike once in your life, I would strongly recommend somebody who's highly unusual and fun, and that was Al McGuire.
Al was the king of both of those?
Oh, he was wonderful.
Can you tell the people what he said to you instead of getting a cab going this as many moons ago?
I can tell most of the story if you're insisting on it, as
please,
we have time here.
We got 3 hours of ball. We're okay. Yeah, we're all right. Yeah.
Occasionally, we like to slip some play-by-play into the action as well. 0-1 on Randy Arozarena. Lead at first by Polanco. Cade Horton ready for the 0-1 pitch, and it's taken high for a ball. It was at Louisville. We were covering a television game. He was doing the color. I did the play-by-play for Marquette against Louisville, probably 25 years ago, maybe even a few more. Al McGuire and I, it's a Saturday afternoon, and we have to get to the airport. Here's the 1-1, taken high for a ball. And Al says, I said to Al, let's get a cab. He says, no, save your money. We don't need a cab. We're just going to start hitchhiking, and somebody's going to recognize me, and we'll save the cash. And when I heard save the cash, it made a lot of sense to me. I like the concept.
I understand.
Arozarena.
Yeah.
And the next thing I know, I've got my thumb.
You're
sticking out for the only time in my life. I'm hitchhiking.
Yeah.
And so is Al McGuire.
With the bag and everything going to the airport.
And exactly as he said, the second vehicle that drove by, these kids were in an SUV. Here's a swing and a foul back. They instantly recognized Al McGuire. They stop. They roll down the window. Hey, Al, do you need a ride to the airport? And Al kind of winks at me like, I told you. And Al says, yeah, me and my partner, we're going to the airport.
Yeah.
Well, hop in.
Yeah. How'd that work out?
Next thing I know, I'm in the backseat of an entire complete stranger's vehicle. There's a high pop fly shallow left center, but now it becomes medium deep left center, and it falls behind Crow Armstrong, and runners are going to end up at second and third on the play. That ball got lost in the sun. The wind started to grab it. I said medium deep, and it turned out to land right on the edge of the warning track in left center. That's how severe the wind is today, Ron.
Yeah, I think Pete had major issue with the sun, and then he didn't realize he didn't play behind this ball at all. You're going to have to play 20 to 30 feet behind where you think the ball would come down when it first goes up. This ball gets behind him, and once it does, big trouble.
So men at second and third with nobody out. Seattle threatening immediately here in the second inning. It's scored as a double for Arozarena. Polanco ended up at third. Polanco thought it was going to be caught. That's why he only was able to get to third. Luke Raley hits a fly ball to shallow left. Happ coming in, and Happ will not be able to make the catch. It bounces past him as a run comes in to score, and it's now a 2-1 ball game. I think it's official now. No fly ball should be categorized as routine today.
Yeah, that's a ball that's got to be caught. That one, Ian's coming in. I think he was wondering if Swanson was going to make a play and just wasn't aggressive on this ball coming in, and it just bounces. And the outfielders on these balls hit to the outfield. The shallow ones got to be very aggressive because the ball's going to get blown to them. The infielders are the guys that are going to have the problem with the ball blowing out over their head. And that one ends up driving in a run.
Conference on the mound. Tommy Hotovy will see about Cade Horton. Cade he did walk a man, but the other two balls not hit hard at all. Just the conditions made them very difficult plays. And they went for a double for Arozarena and now an RBI single for Raley. The Cub lead is now 2-1 with men at first and third and still nobody out in this second inning. And Donovan Solano, the batter. And we'll try to finish our Al McGuire story as we have time here, but we're hitchhiking and we're in the back seat of an entire stranger's vehicle. And Al is telling these kids stories about arguing with referees and getting technical fouls and calling them zebras and winning the NCAA championship and working with Billy Packer and
Dick Enberg.
Right? Oh, yeah, he's telling these kids stories. And the kids are laughing. All the stories are great. Yeah. And they're still telling this story every Christmas and Thanksgiving dinner, wherever they live. The great Al McGuire telling them stories. Here's a swing and a foul back. And I'm just sitting there kind of mesmerized, just enjoying every minute of it. And kept my mouth shut and just watched the whole spectacle.
Saved the $50 too.
We got to the airport and I said, Al, that was truly amazing. But I said, you're still going to turn this in on expenses, aren't you? He says, no, I don't cheat the small stuff. I got enough big scams going. There's a ground ball to third, fielded by Brujan. They've got a runner in a rundown between third and home, and he is tagged out. Arozarena ran, hoping to avoid the double play. And the Cubs get him in a rundown and tag him out for out number one. Runners end up at first and second on the play. And the Cub lead is still 2-1.
Excellent play by Brujan at third. He's playing back, but this ball's hit sharply to his backhand side. Catches it and throws a strike to Kelly at the plate. They get the rundown going. Very nice play. The play will go 5-2-5 in the putout. And the great thing about that rundown is nobody was able to advance an extra 90 feet. So a very nice play by Brujan at third.
That's a good point, Ron. Cole Young, the batter, left-handed hitter. Are you taught to try to minimize the number of throws on a rundown for exactly the reason you just mentioned?
Yeah, well, the whole key is getting the runner running hard to the place you're going to throw the ball. Brujan did exactly that on the second throw. A very nice play.
Bounce toward the middle, glove by Swanson. Step on the bag, throw to first, double play. Inning over, the Mariners get one and leave one. Middle of inning number 2, it's the Cubs 2 and Seattle 1 on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Start your mornings with Cubs Talk. Mully & Haw, mornings 5:30 to 10 on The Score.
Choosing a bottled Starbucks Frappuccino drink that's all flavor and just 100 calories? Easy. Choosing between creamy vanilla, double chocolate, and sea salt caramel flavors? A little harder. Try the delicious new Starbucks Frappuccino light drinks. Look for them wherever you buy groceries. Start with Starbucks coffee.
I don't mean to interrupt your meal, but I saw you from across the cafe, and you're the Geico Gecko, right?
In the flesh.
Oh, my goodness. This is huge to finally meet you. I love Geico's fast and friendly claim service.
Well, that's how Geico gets 97% customer satisfaction.
Anyway, that's all. Enjoy the rest of your food.
No worries. So are you just going to watch me eat?
Oh, sorry. Just a little starstruck. I'll be on my way.
If you're going to stick around, just pull up a chair.
You're the best.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years, guaranteed, on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit the Berwyn Verizon store at 7160 Shermack Road today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
You look amazing. What have you been doing?
You've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, if you qualify, Zelty providers can prescribe semaglutide, the same active ingredient, at up to 90% less without insurance. Done all online.
No wait at the doctor's office or pharmacy?
No wait. Zelty can ship the same active ingredients as other expensive GLP-1s to your door.
Get started with Zelty today for just $39. Call pound 250 and say keyword care. That's the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less. That's pound 250 keyword care.
Wednesday, July 2nd is Camp Cubs Night at the ballpark. Enjoy the spirit of summer camp with fun pregame activities at Gallagher Way. Fans who purchase tickets through Cubs.com/specials will receive a limited edition Cubs Camp t-shirt. Huh?
Michael Busch leads it off, Zach, and takes outside from right-hander Emerson Hancock. Busch 3 for 4 in yesterday's series opener, elevating his average to 271. Carson Kelly on deck, and then Nico Horner against the right-hander Hancock, who always works from a stretch. The pitch fouled away, and it's 1-1.
Well, Hancock, as we saw in the first inning, he, after giving up the 2 home runs, started spinning the ball a lot more, throwing a lot more off-speed stuff.
This ball is outside for a ball. Hancock pitched very well against Cleveland back on the 15th of June in his most recent outing. He pitched shutout ball for 7 innings, give up only 2 hits and 1 walk. Check swing, and did he go? No swing. Busch just barely checking his swing in time. That's about as borderline as you can get.
Yeah, I think.
In fact, I think he did swing, to be
Cubs
honest.
caught a break. I agree with you.
Here's a pitch outside, ball 4. Busch gets the leadoff walk. And here's Carson Kelly. Cubs lead 2-1 here in the second inning.
I think Hancock was asking on that check swing also, like, where he got the pitch. And I think both starting pitchers here in the early going are they're pitching to a very tight strike zone. Let's just put it that way. Then probably 4 or 5 pitches that could have been called strikes that have not.
Carson Kelly did not play yesterday, wearing the blue batting gloves on either hand. Takes a strike.
Carson Kelly's like, what happened to that zone? Now I'm up, and now you call that one. And I'm the catcher.
It looked a bit wide. Here's the 0-1. Fastball strike 2 call. It was 95 mph. This guy's got a good arm.
He really does. He's got a good arm and kind of a little bit of a different arm action because he gives you that 3/4 delivery. So you would really think, just by looking at him throwing the baseball, you know he's going to get great movement on his pitches.
Short lead by Busch. Kelly takes way outside, a slider. 1-2. Same 2 teams tomorrow. It'll wrap up the series and the homestand. Gets underway at 1:20 in the afternoon. Here's the bouncing ball toward third and foul. Colin Ray against Logan Gilbert tomorrow. Gilbert's been good for several years now. His ERA 2.5. Colin Ray has been very good himself with a record of 4-2 and an ERA of 3.8. It's a good matchup. And then it's off to St. Louis. Driven down the left field line, base hit. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Played off the vines by Arozarena. Stopping at third is Busch on a double by Carson Kelly. Cubs in business, second and third, nobody out. Second inning, they lead by a run, and the batter is Nico Horner.
Now, this is a right-on-right changeup, and there's a reason why most pitchers don't throw this. That's the reason. This ball starts tailing back in towards the righty, and if you don't get it going downhill, that pitch, it stays flat and right into the barrel of the right-handed hitter, and Kelly hammers this ball one hop off the left field wall. Right-handed hitters are hitting way better than left-handed hitters against Hancock.
Here's another right-handed batter, Nico Horner. Interesting, the infield is in. Many managers run in watching games for 30 years on days like this at Wrigley. They don't play the infield in as much this early in a game because it's going to be a high-scoring game anyway.
Yeah, I would agree. The one thing that may be a factor is Dan Wilson. He's from Chicago. He's been in the American League almost entirely his whole career.
Swing and a miss by Horner, 0-2. Now, if you're Nico, you got a count of 0-2. What's your plan here?
You got to put the ball in play. This is where you shorten up and probably try to use the other side of the field a little more and just try to get something in play.
Hancock working out of the stretch, infield in. And Nico hits a bouncer over the mound. A run is going to score. The play by the shortstop, Crawford, goes to first. In time, holding at second was Kelly. Bush got a good jump. He saw the ball bounce over the pitcher's head, and he took off for home and scored standing up without a throw. Cubs lead 3-1. Nico with his 31st RBI.
Great job by Nico. He gets this two-seamer running in on his fist, but he does such a good job of pulling his hands inside and shooting this ball back through the middle instead of rolling over into the defense, and that ends up scoring Bush from third. So a very nice adjustment by Nico to drive in that run.
RBIs by Cubs batters, sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old. Old National Bank. One away and a run in. The leadoff walk comes back to sting Emerson Hancock. Kelly at second. Brujan hitting an even 200, getting a chance to start today. So he'd love to have a big day. Anytime you're a backup player and you get a chance to start and get a possible opportunity for 3, maybe even 4 at-bats, that's a big day for you.
Absolutely. Already made an impact. He saved a run on that ball hit to third where they threw the runner out at the plate.
Vidal Brujan takes high, 3-0. Number 9 hitter taking all the way here.
I would say yes.
Cubs lead 3-1. And now Hancock fires a strike. And now it's 3-1. What's the plan here?
Now you'd swing. Now you can look to go ahead and do some damage. His fastball is going to be running away from you just because of the arm match.
The 3-1. Swinging a chopper foul. Threw him a sinking fastball that time. And now to count 3-2, Ron.
That was the good old-fashioned sinker that we've been accustomed to seeing through the years. That one cross-fired coming in and then dives down.
Hancock has already given up more runs in this start in an inning and a third than he did in the previous 4 starts that he has made. Again, it is a very difficult day to pitch at Wrigley Field. The 3-2 is outside. He walked him. Pretty good plate appearance for a guy who has not seen a lot of playing time of late, Ron.
Absolutely. Didn't chase that last pitch. Fouled off the ball down and in. And it's one of those things, I think, Raleigh and Hancock could not get together on what they wanted to throw on 3-1, and it ended up just being ball 4. Our reviews in this game sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. Second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine.
Ian Happ homered on the very first pitch he saw. He has now homered in 3 consecutive games. What's the record? 8 consecutive games. So he's got a ways to go for that, but he's off to a pretty good start. Last year was Michael Bush who had that consecutive homer game going. I think he got it up to 5 or 6.
5.
Here's a pitch down low. Dale Long for the Pirates back in the 1950s hit homers in 8 straight games. Don Mattingly had 8 in a row. And there was one other one, and we'll try to find that out. That's off the top of my head. I know there's one other guy that did it.
Wasn't it Griffey? Griffey Jr.?
That sounds right.
Right?
Here's the 2-0. Happ takes a strike on the inside, and the count 2-1.
That ball well inside. Ian didn't like that one.
It is Ken Griffey. Did you play against him in part of that streak?
I was playing, I believe, during that streak, but I remember he was one of those that they were talking about.
Yep.
With the Don Mattingly thing, because they were fairly close in the times that they played.
2-2 on Ian Happ. The pitch count now for Hancock becoming an issue for him. After an inning and a third, he's up to 39 deliveries in oppressively warm weather. And that will take its toll.
What did they say, 92 to start the ball game? Is
92
that right?
and very humid. The pitch to Happ. Check swing foul back. And we'll do it again. Cubs trying to even up this series.
Big gap in right center field for Ian.
The Cardinals are off to a 2-0 lead against Cincinnati. They're in the 3rd inning in Missouri. As Happ hits a high fly ball, deep center. Back goes Rodriguez. It's got a chance. Gone. 3-run homer, Ian Happ. Cubs have taken a 6-1 lead. Just to the left of dead center. The way Rodriguez was going back, I thought he might have a play, but wrong. That was long gone. Up on that little roof of that shack area, well beyond the center field barrier. That's 440 feet right there.
Yeah, it's a long home run. It's a backdoor breaking ball. And Ian hit it, and I looked down at Ian, and I knew it was gone. He clicked it on the barrel, and if you catch it on the barrel today and get it elevated to the middle, it's gone. Long home run. Ian, in 2 innings, 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. Is that good?
And we're only in the 2nd inning. It could get even better, Ron. Happ now with 11. He's got 4 ribbies for the day, 38 for the year. And as we said, he's homered in 3 consecutive games. They do come in bunches many times, which is another thing. I've never really heard anyone completely explain that properly. It's confidence, it's timing.
Yeah.
Can you go beyond those two?
You really can. There's no way to totally explain that, but it is a fact. We've seen it for years.
Tucker will take low and inside, 3-0.
And I can tell you as a player, I don't talk about myself playing much, but that's how my home runs came in. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Any question he would have the green light on 3-0 on a day like today?
I wouldn't even look down to the third base coach.
I think that's a yes.
Yeah, that's a yes.
There's a looper, shallow right field. Coming in, Rayleigh makes the catch. Before Suzuki steps in, we step away. 10 for ID on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk with Rahimi and Harris, 10 a.m. to 2 on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network, WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
With former Cub and All-Star Ron Coomer, Pat Hughes at Wrigley, Zach Zaidman working alongside. Rich Wyatt is our fine engineer at the controls. Fastball strike to Saya. And we all thank you for joining us and spending part of this warm Saturday with us, whether you're in your car or on the deck in the backyard, maybe having a little barbecue. Drink plenty of water today. That would be my advice.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think Ian's home run, one of the new attractions here at Wrigley Field, is the Yeti Club in straightaway center field, right over the hitting background. And I saw a little guy holding the ball up. He was all excited, but that's one of the new stadium clubs here. That might be the first one that's landed in the stadium club in the Yeti Club.
That's a good point, Ron. As Suzuki bounces one back to the mound.
Fielded by Hancock, lobs to first. And that ends the inning. But the Cubs have a big second inning. They score 4 times. 4 runs on 2 hits and 2 walks. We go to inning number 3. Cubs 6, Mariners 1. This is The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Chicago, this is Kyle Tucker. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
I don't mean to interrupt your meal, but I saw you from across the cafe, and you're the Geico Gecko, right?
In the flesh.
Oh, my goodness. This is huge to finally meet you. I love Geico's fast and friendly claim service.
Well, that's how Geico gets 97% customer satisfaction.
Anyway, that's all. Enjoy the rest of your food.
No worries. So are you just going to watch me eat?
Oh, sorry. Just a little starstruck. I'll be on my way.
If you're going to stick around, just pull up a chair.
You're the best.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years, guaranteed, on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit the Berwyn Verizon store at 7160 Shermack Road today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
At Mayo Clinic, we are conquering the unconquerable by leading the way in innovative regenerative medicines to help people with chronic medical conditions. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic, you know where to go.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away. Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Top 3 at Wrigley. Cubs 6, Seattle 1. 94 degrees, sunny, wind blowing out. Time and temperature sponsored by Circa Sports Illinois. Bet like the pros and download the Circa Sports app today. And the wind blowing out at 20 miles per hour. Back.
Very good, Zach. Ben Williamson leads it off, hits a smash on the ground, glove by Bush. On one knee, gets up, shovels the ball to Horton coming over in plenty of time, and that's out number 1. 1 down. Cubs lead 6-1, and the batter J.P. Crawford. So now with a 5-run lead, does that change any part of the game plan that Cade Horton might have brought into the contest?
I don't think so. I think you got to be on the attack today and just pitch your ball game. He's got a great arm and great stuff. You got to stay on the attack. The last thing you want to do is walk guys, and then the defense also has got to help you out. You can't make mistakes on defense.
Outside 2-0.
Extra base runners are killers on days like today.
To your point, Ron, the only walk to a Mariner, Jorge Polanco, he scored their only run. And the Cubs got 2 walks, which added to the rally in the bottom of the second inning when they scored 4. But walks to Bush to lead off the inning, and then Brujan really set up the entire big inning. And it's easier said than done. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way. Respectfully, Ron, I've seen how difficult it is to pitch on a day like today. And I understand how and why you would not want to throw balls right over the middle and nibble a little bit. That's completely understandable.
It's a catch-22. You walk guys, you give up runs. You throw the ball in the middle, you give up home runs. It's a tough situation. It is.
Pop-up shallow left, Happ coming in, and he'll make the catch. Just the way Ian was dancing underneath that ball as it came down. That wind is playing havoc with that baseball today.
Yeah, as you put it in the first inning, there's no high fly ball that's routine today at all. The other thing you really got to watch today for your pitcher, if you're an infielder, you've got to pay attention to your guy on the mound.
Inside to Julio Rodriguez.
And like on the very first play of this inning, a routine ground ball to Bushy, he flips to the pitcher, he tags the bag. You've got to give your pitcher extra time if you're an infielder to go out there and let him catch his breath and slow down. You can't have him get sped up and be in this heat yeah, it just gets tougher and tougher.
2 down, nobody on. The pitch to Julio Rodriguez, swung on and missed. 2 balls and a strike.
Coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs.
And now the 2-1, fly ball foul, right side out of play. Well, with 2 outs in the inning, we are reminded that soon it's time to kind of slow things down a little bit. 3rd inning and this slow down in the action brought to you by Iservay. Nice to have Iservay with us on Cubs Radio.
Ooh,
and the
dramatic.
2-2. 2-2 is hit high in the air, center field. Tough play for Pete Crow Armstrong. Does he see it? No. It lands behind him, and at second base is Rodriguez. I knew he was battling that sun. He tried to do everything he could, Ron. He turned sideways, he crouched down, and he had no idea when that ball was coming down where exactly it was.
Yeah, he knows he's in the vicinity of it, but as it's coming down, it's in the sun. And once again, see, here's the problem. He throws his arms up, but he's not behind the ball. And it's just tough to figure out how deep do you have to go to play the ball in front of you, because the wind's blowing in a good 30, 40 feet. So it's just a very, very tough play. And again, no routine balls hit in the air today.
Cubs lead 6-1. Cal Raleigh lines one. Backhanded beautifully by Bush. Feeds Horton on the bag. Great play. Great play by Bush. Took a base hit away from Cal Raleigh. And the Mariners do not score in the middle of inning number 3 again. Time to slow things down. This slowdown in the action brought to you by Iservay. Cubs 6, Mariners 1 on the score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the Chicagoland area on the free Odyssey app. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
You're about to head out and your phone starts blowing up. The temptation is real. What if it's your situationship texting back? Even if it is, what are you going to do? Respond now? It's getting thirsty. You turn on Do Not Disturb. Smart move. Your roster is a train wreck, but your driving doesn't have to be. Drop it and drive. Think you could put down the phone and pick up some points? Head to itsnotagameillinois.com to play the retro arcade.
Guys, by now you've heard me talk about Collars & Co., makers of the dress collar polo. They've already sold over 1 million of these amazing shirts. Well, Collars & Co. just came out with the new Maverick Performance Blazer. This blazer is sharp and wrinkle resistant, so you can travel anywhere with it. Just throw it in your bag and it will remain wrinkle-free. It even comes with security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So visit collarsandco.com and use code TIKI for 20% off at collarsandco.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, could be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Go to carsforkids.org today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Pete Crow Armstrong's on deck for the Cubs. Who's on deck is brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit timbertech.com. Pat?
PCA leads it off. Swanson and Bush to follow against the right-hander Emerson Hancock. Very nice play by Bush, taking a base hit away from Cal Raleigh, the big catcher. Pete swings and misses at a high fastball. Raleigh, as we told you yesterday, leads the major leagues with his 29 home runs. And I was reading about his accomplishment run of breaking Johnny Bench's mark for the most homers by a catcher before the All-Star break in baseball history.
Yeah.
Think for a minute about Johnny Bench and that 1970 season. In professional sports, Ron, and you were part of it as a ball player for a long time in the big leagues, you can reach the top of your profession at a very young age. Now, Johnny Bench in 1970 was 22 years old. Here's a pitch outside. He would be the National League MVP that year. He finished the year with the unbelievable totals of 45 home runs and 148 runs batted in.
148 driven in. Oh, my.
But they would not win the World Series. That went to Baltimore's Orioles.
Wow.
Brooks Robinson. There's a pop-up down the left field line, falling in there for a base hit. It's going to be a double for Pete Crow Armstrong. Rosarena gave up on that ball. He saw it hit in the air, and he thought that's going to be out of play. Not only was it not out of play, it was in fair territory by a good 15 feet. You cannot assume anything on any fly ball in these conditions, period.
Yeah, he really didn't go after this ball hard at the beginning, and then all of a sudden it's like, uh-oh, and this ball drops in. Any ball hit down the left field or right field line today is going to get pushed back to fair territory. We say this every time the wind is blowing out, and that is absolute today.
Here's Dansby Swanson stepping in. A bluff move by Hancock to second.
I'll tell you, yesterday's ball game was a tough one for Pete. Popped out twice. It just didn't have a very good day at the plate. I missed 2 balls in center field because of the sun. He needed that hit. That's a good hit. And now you can turn the page on some of these things that haven't worked out for you and get back on the right way of thinking. Hopefully it'll help out Pete Crow Armstrong.
I like that thought, Ron, because when the conditions are so good for hitting, you want to have a good attitude.
Yeah, you want to have a good frame of mind of going to home plate free of thoughts of doing damage, not popping out and things like that.
Swanson takes inside near the knuckles, ball 3.
And I don't care how good a player you are, and Pete's one of the most talented guys in our game today. But when you're a young player, that confidence fluctuates. It goes up and down. You're just a young player. So it's good to see him dump one in there and get a double.
Swanson will take ball 4. So a bloop double and a walk. And again, Emerson Hancock is in a jam. Nobody out. The Cubs already lead by 5. You hear the phrase, keep adding on days like today. And it really does apply because there is a lot of baseball left. And any team, any big league team on a day like today is capable of putting 5 runs on the board in any half inning.
Yeah, that's what I was to say. The 3, 4, 5 run innings are, they're coming today. That's no doubt.
Now Bush, the batter, he'll take outside. Bush, a base on balls and a run scored his first time. Walks to Cubs batter, sponsored by It'sNotAGameIllinois.com. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. It'sNotAGameIllinois.com. A reminder, a walk is free, a DUI is not. Drive sober or get pulled over. 2 men on, nobody out. Swing and a miss, breaking ball, 1-2. Big, tall, lanky right-hander, Emerson Hancock. And watching him, I'm reminded of reading about Jacob Mizorowski, the young right-hander for Milwaukee. What a start he's off to.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-2 fouled away. We did not see him earlier this week when Milwaukee was in town. The rainout canceled out his start. But not only did he pitch another good game, his first outing, he pitched 5 no-hit innings against St. Louis. Here's a bouncing ball foul past first. Last night, Ron, he took a perfect game into the bottom of the 7th inning before finally giving up a home run to Matt Wallner of the Twins. Milwaukee won the game easily, 17-6. But the win went to Mizorowski, who now has 2 wins and has allowed just 1 hit in the 2 games.
Ooh,
it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
In fact, no pitcher since 1900 no starting pitcher has 2 wins and allowing just 1 hit total in the first 2 games. Now the 2-2. Swinging a chopper foul right side.
I saw a picture of Mizorowski. He's like 6'7".
Yeah, he's
kind of
big
lanky,
kid. Yep.
long-limbed, and he throws 102.
Yeah.
How about this run? He throws his changeup in the mid-90s.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
The 2-2.
Drill in the air, deep right. If it's fair, it's going to be gone. That's a home run. Right down the right field line. Michael Busch, a 3-run homer. And the Cubs have taken a commanding 9-1 lead.
You knew it was going to be one of them days, and the Cubs offense has been prepared for this. This makes up for some of them days where the wind is howling in and it's 30 degrees here at Wrigley. Bushy hits a line drive bullet. Two things. Was it going to stay fair? That was one. And just be high enough. Was it going to clear that wall because it's so deep down the lines here at Wrigley? But it clears the basket. 3-run bomb.
Fence is about 11 feet high in that area. Carson Kelly hits a high fly ball into left center, and that ball will be caught by Rodriguez. Ian Rosarena almost collided. Again, nothing is routine today. I've seen so many games in these conditions. Kelly is out number 1, and here is Nico Horner.
The ball that's really tough right now is the ball the straightaway center hit real high like the last one, but straight center. If it's off to either gap, the center fielder has a chance to look away from the sun. The one to straight center, the ones Pete have missed, have been right in the middle of the field.
Horner grounded out and drove in a run his first time. And the pitch on the way to Nico is fouled away. Cubs leading 9-1. 3-run homers are always a key in any ball game, but it seems like they're very plentiful in games like this.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get the invariable walks. You're going to get some bloop hits. There is a fastball missing. 2-1 on Horner.
That ball splits the plate. And, I mean, the whole baseball's in the strike zone.
Here comes the 2-1 to Nico. And he'll poke this one foul off to the right out of play.
Double plays today turned by the Cubs. They're sponsored by Nissan. Experience the thrill at NissanUSA.com. Double plays are a big thing on today. On days like today, Cubs have turned one.
Fouled away by Horner. He stays alive, 2-2. Great crowd at Wrigley. We'll play the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game here pretty soon. The defensive alignment deep. And straight away against Horner. Nico pulls the bouncer foul. I'd like to watch Nico grind out the at-bats when he gets 2 strikes on him. He might do that about as well as anybody on the team.
Yeah, he's great command of where his barrel is at. And, yeah, he makes it tough on an opposing pitcher, that's for sure.
And the 2-2, bouncing ball right side. It's gloved by Young, and an off-balance throw in time to get Horner for out number 2. Solano, the first baseman, made a move toward the grounder and had to really hustle to get back. On that 4-3 put out, there are 2 down in the batter, Vidal Brujan.
RBIs in this ball game today by Cubs hitters, sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old.
Brujan takes outside. Vidal had a base on balls, and he was along for the ride on Ian Happ's second home run of the day. Stay tuned, Ian with 2 home runs, and we are only in the 3rd, and Ian's already on deck again. Here's a chopper foul off Brujan's foot.
Has any big league hitter ever hit 3 home runs in 3 consecutive innings? I wonder.
I saw Sammy Sosa do it in Colorado.
Really?
I did. I'm pretty sure of that. In fact, I'm almost positive.
Think of that. 3 innings, 3 home runs.
It was kind of in the middle of the game,
right?
Like 3-4-5 or 4-5-6. But at Coors Field, which probably doesn't surprise too many people.
Yeah, it's one of the best places in the world to hit, especially back then.
Now the 1-1.
Strike to Brujan. Zach is looking that up on the computer. I'm curious about 4 homer games.
Yeah,
Has anyone ever?
Yeah.
My goodness, can you imagine doing it in 4 straight innings?
You just go to the manager and tag. Let someone else try. I'm tapped out. I've done all I can do for you.
I don't want to show off.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Skip. I mean, I've never had that issue.
Didn't Chris Bryant homer in 3 consecutive innings against Washington?
That sounds right.
Could be.
It does. Here's the drive down the left field line, slicing. Is that ball going to stay fair? No, it's foul and out of play. Zach, is that from memory or from the Google machine?
Both, because apparently when he did it in Washington, it was the second time in his career that he hit 3 home runs in a game. But in that game against the Nationals, 3 consecutive innings.
Kind of late in the game, like maybe 6, 7, 8, something like that?
7th, 8th, and 9th inning.
Okay. The 1-2 is down low.
2019 was the year.
It was a night game, I'm pretty sure.
No? Correct.
I believe we all had bottles of water in our booth that night, if I'm not mistaken. Swing and a miss, and that is strike 3, and that ends the inning. But it's another good inning for the Cubs. They score 3 on the home run by Michael Busch. We go to inning number 4, Cubs 9, Mariners 1. This is the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Jamison Tyone. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Phew, you had a wild morning and you're finally in the driver's seat. But don't take off just yet. You haven't put on your seatbelt. What's the move? It's just a short drive. It'll probably be fine. Buckle up and only take 2 seconds. Nice choice. The playlist is hitting and you're buckled in. Click it or ticket. Ready to keep making smart moves? Head to itsnotagameillinois.com to play the Retro Arcade.
Guys, by now you've heard me talk about Collars & Co., makers of the dress collar polo. They've already sold over 1 million of these amazing shirts. Well, Collars & Co. just came out with the new Maverick Performance Blazer. This blazer is sharp and wrinkle resistant, so you can travel anywhere with it. Just throw it in your bag and it will remain wrinkle-free. It even comes with security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So visit collarsandco.com and use code TIKI for 20% off at collarsandco.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
The Out-of-Town Scoreboard is sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app now and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up.
Zach, we go to inning number 4. Polanco, the leadoff hitter. What else, Zach?
Clark Schmidt has a no-hitter through the first 7 innings in New York. He's a Yankee right-hander. The Bronx Bombers leading the Orioles 9-0 now in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Schmidt has thrown 103 pitches so far today. So tough decision, I'm sure, coming up for Aaron Boone and the Yankees. Brewers lead the Twins 4-0 after 4 innings of play. Christian Yelich with an RBI single. It's the Cardinals 2 and the Reds 1. They're in the top of the 5th in St. Louis. Alec Burleson, a 2-run home run.
Polanco takes outside. Zach, go ahead.
Top 2 in Toronto. Bo Bichette, a solo shot. Blue Jays lead the White Sox 1-0. And one final on the board. The Rays, an 8-3 drubbing of the Tigers. Christopher Morel, the ex-Cub, with a solo shot, his 6th. Pat?
Very good, Zach. Here it's 9-1 Cubs at the end of 3. Jorge Polanco leads it off with a count of 2-2. Cade Horton's pitch, changeup low and away. And it's 3-2. Cubs play straight away. The defensive alignment, sponsored by Fitzgerald Equipment. Material handling handled. Learn more at FitzgeraldEquipment.com. Deep fly ball to center. It's off the vines. Played by Crow Armstrong. He fires towards second, but it's not in time. It's a leadoff double for Jorge Polanco. He just missed a home run.
Yes, ball hit well, but hit on the line, and it just blows over Pete's head. No chance of catching this ball. Hits 2/3 of the way up the bleachers. Just missed the basket in center. And it ends up being a double.
Well, we're going to play the attendance game, the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. It's a sellout, just a matter of the exact number. It's probably between 39 and 41,000. And the 0-1 to Arosarena, fouled away. I'll go ahead and get us started with 40,004.
39,500.
39,000.
Zach, you paused before making that guess. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Arosarena. And that just missed. Not sure where it did, but it's ball one. 1-2.
It was just for dramatic effect.
And it worked. Now Horton will glance back at the runner and deals. Arosarena dribbles one fair out in front of the plate. It's picked up by Kelly, and he tags Arosarena, who never left the home plate area. And that's an easy out on the play. Polanco goes to third. The ball ended up literally less than a foot in front of the plate. Now, some wise guy on his bench might say, did you get all of that one?
Yeah, grown man hit that ball. That's what you'd say, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Two unassisted on the putout. And here is Luke Raley. Infield back. Cubs would gladly trade a run for an out.
Now we talk about some of the longest home runs that have ever been hit. How about some of the shortest outs that have ever been recorded? That could be one of them.
It's the shortest one we've seen this season.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-0, and it's inside. It hits him. Luke Raley gets hit. Just kind of grazed in the arm. It didn't seem to faze him all that much. First and third with one away. Cubs lead 9-1. And the batter, Donovan Solano.
With the way the wind is blowing today out the straightaway center as a hitter, I don't want to stay in there and get even nicked by the ball. You want to hit.
Sure.
That one, he just kind of left that back leg out there and knew that ball had a chance of just clipping him, and it did. But a lot of these guys haven't played here, and they're getting a good dose of it here in the early going.
First pitch to Solano is down low, 1-0.
But this could be one of the most unique games you'll ever play with the wind blowing out the way it is.
Right-hander in the middle of the diamond. Runners lead first and third. There's a breaking ball down low, and it's 2-0.
That one took a bite out of Kelly. A slider in the dirt. I think it hit him in his throwing hand.
Runners take their leads at the corners. Bush holding the runner Raley at first. Polanco leads in foul territory at third. There's a strike to Solano, and it's 2-1. No activity in the Mariner bullpen, at least according to the data available to us. And the next offering. Lifted to right, slicing down the line. It's going to stay foul and out of play. You always half expect a ball like that, Ron, to maybe veer back on the field of play.
Yeah, I always watch that ball going down the line. If it's hit high and not hit all that hard, the wind will grab a hold of it and really change the direction of the baseball.
Now the 2-2 to Solano. Line drive, base hit to right. A run is in around second. Heading to third is Raley. And the Mariners have met at first and third, and they move a step closer. It's now 9-2. Solano's 7th RBI of the year.
Now Solano, a little inside-out swing on this fastball in and shoots it past Nico in the right field. Good piece of hitting. He's had a pretty big impact on this series so far with that RBI single. He made 2 plays yesterday, unassisted double plays. And if both of those balls go past them, they're both extra base hits, and they both drive in runs.
There's a strike. Those were the kind of plays, Ron, you don't really mention it as a broadcaster at the time because there's still a lot of baseball left. But in the back of your head, you're thinking, this might not be our day.
Yep.
Here's the 0-1. And then it happens again, and you think, this really might not be our day.
Yeah.
Right? That's 4 outs on 2 hard-hit balls that could have done a lot of damage.
Yeah. I thought Williamson, their third baseman, made 2 plays at third, too. That both saved runs. One turned into a double play. And, yeah, just wasn't Cubs' day yesterday.
Swing and a miss. And the count 1-2 on Cole Young. We got the best ball players in the world in big league ball. And the ball bounces funny ways in a game. Here comes the 1-2. It's on the way outside. And some days you can do no wrong.
Yeah.
And there are other days, no matter how hard you try or how hard you're hitting the ball, you're just not going to win that game.
That's just the way it is. Yep.
And the 2-2 from Cade Horton. Fouled away back near our booth and out of play. Fan made a nice catch down below. Very proud of himself. High-fiving his neighbors.
Yeah.
Nice play. The 2-2 from Horton. Fly ball left center. It is playable for Carl Armstrong, I believe. Yes, he makes the catch on the track. Tagging and scoring is Rayleigh. Holding at first, Solano. Cole Young gave that a long ride, and on a normal day, it probably would have been caught about 30 feet shy of the warning track. But this day, today, it was right in the middle of the track and almost a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and it goes back. I mean, Pete catches this ball literally one step in front of the 368 mark in left center field.
Young with his 6th RBI. It's now a 9-3 ball game. But now there are 2 outs in the inning. And Ben Williamson swings away and fouls it away. Horton at 72 pitches. Here's the set for the 0-1. And it's swung on and missed. I think the pitch count, you have to look at that a little differently on a day like today, too, Ron. I think 70 today would be more like 90 on a normal day.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It's just very hot. That's why I said you got to really pay attention to the guys on the mound.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout for Cade Horton. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers. Those are brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. We move to the bottom of inning number 4 as the Mariners score twice in the top of inning number 4. It's the Cubs 9 and Seattle 3 on the score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Start your mornings with Cubs Talk, Mully and Haw, mornings 5:30 to 10 on the score.
Phew, you had a wild morning and you're finally in the driver's seat. But don't take off just yet. You haven't put on your seatbelt. What's the move? It's just a short drive. It'll probably be fine. Buckle up and only take 2 seconds. Nice choice. The playlist is hitting and you're buckled in. Click it or ticket. Ready to keep making smart moves? Head to itsnotagameillinois.com to play the Retro Arcade.
Guys, by now you've heard me talk about Collars & Co., makers of the dress collar polo. They've already sold over 1 million of these amazing shirts. Well, Collars & Co. just came out with the new Maverick Performance Blazer. This blazer is sharp and wrinkle resistant, so you can travel anywhere with it. Just throw it in your bag and it will remain wrinkle-free. It even comes with security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So visit collarsandco.com and use code TIKI for 20% off at collarsandco.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, could be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Go to carsforkids.org today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
League leaders sponsored by American Sail. Bring the fun home. Aaron Judge leads the majors in batting average, hitting at .369. The Mariners, Cal Raleigh, the home run leader, 29. And Eugenio Suarez of the Diamondbacks, the RBI leader, with 65. Pat?
All right, Zach, bottom of inning number 4. Cubs with a 9-3 lead. Cubs have homered in every inning. Ian Happ with a pair already, a solo in the first, a 3-run homer in the second. Kyle Tucker homered in the first inning. Michael Busch had a 3-run homer in the third. Cubs trying to even up this series at 1 win apiece as Ian Happ swings and fouls it back. Ron, you had to hit homers in your first 2 at-bats in many games as a professional player and certainly as an amateur. You know you're going to have a good day. It's just a matter of how big is this going to get.
Oh, yeah. You can't wipe the smile off your face after inning number 2 when you've done that. Yeah. Yeah, this is one of those days where you're just like, yeah, let's just keep playing. Play all day.
There is a strike. Happ now with 11 homers and 38 runs batted in. He has homered in 3 consecutive games. And he's trying to start a bottom of the 4th rally right now as he swings and misses strike 3. Breaking ball got him. Emerson Hancock with his 4th strikeout of the day, and the batter is Kyle Tucker.
Little inside changeup from Hancock. Starts out in and stays in. I think Ian thought it was going to fade back over to the inside corner. Just stayed in enough where Ian swung over the top of him.
Swinging a foul back by Tucker. Still waiting for Rich Wyatt, our engineer's attendance guess in the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. And this 4th inning is brought to you by Wintrust. Wintrust is the home of the exclusive Cubs debit card. Member FDIC, EHL lender. Now the 1-1 to Tucker. Kyle looks at a ball outside. Tucker homered to right center and lined out to right. Hancock always works from the stretch. This ball is bounced foul over toward the dugout and one-handed. Was that Dan Wilson, the manager, who made that play?
I think it might have been, yeah.
Dan, former big league catcher, a Chicago area native from Barrington. Fastball, strike 3 call. Tucker didn't like that call. Tucker visibly upset. Not a big arguer. He's very quiet normally, but he was not happy with that call.
Rightfully so. That ball's off the plate. Woodson zone's been a little erratic today, you might say. It started out very tight. It was not giving, the pitch down in the zone, in the strike zone was not being called, and now it's expanded a little on either side of the plate. The heat might have something to do with that.
Emerson Hancock has worked 3 2/3.
That's another thing that comes to mind, Ron, as a manager and as a pitching coach. A day like today, you wouldn't let a guy out there for 9 earned runs and still let him keep pitching. After about 5 or 6, most of the time, you'd get him out of there.
Yeah.
But here's a ground ball to short. Moving to his left, Crawford makes the play, throws to first in time to end the inning. But on a day like today, sometimes you have no choice. You have to just let him ride out the outing.
Your guys you got to get more outs. That's exactly right.
Zach's going to be along in a minute. Cubs do nothing in the 4th inning. At the end of 4, it's the Cubs 9 and the Mariners 3. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk, middays 10 to 2 with Rahimi and Harris on The Score, the official radio home of the Cubs.
A spring day is the most righteous time to hit up your group chat, grab an ice-cold Mountain Dew Baja Blast with a wave of tropical lime flavor, and get outside. Because when the outdoors calls, it's good to have exhilarating ice-cold refreshment to answer.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me a river, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew.
Do the dew.
So, I was just parking my car, and then I saw you, the gecko. Huge fan.
I'm always honored to meet fans out in the wild.
The honor is mine. I just love being able to file a claim in under 2 minutes with the Geico app.
Well, the Geico app is top-notch.
I know you get asked this all the time, but could you sign it?
Sign what? The app? Yeah, sure.
Oh, that means so much. Oh, it rubbed off the screen when I touched it. Could you sign it again?
Anything to help, I suppose.
You're the best.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Life is full of delicious moments. Like when a big table of friends feels like a big table of family. Or when the meal you made and shared brings in all the likes on your feed. That's why Carando offers premium meatballs, delicious, savored meatballs made with real Italian flavors to help you savor the big and small moments that make life so good. Carando. Life is delicious. Savor it. For recipes and more, visit carando.com.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Once upon a time, there was born a real estate brokerage that was also a magical app. They called it Redfin, and they're on a mission to get people the fairest deal of them all. With listing fees as low as 1%, Redfin agents charge half of what others often charge, so you have more money to put toward your dream home.
Could it be a gingerbread house?
If the witch wants to sell.
Download the Redfin app to get started. Fee subject to terms and minimums. Equal housing opportunity. CADRE number 01521930.
J.P. Crawford looks at a strike from Cade Horton to begin the top half of the 5th inning here at Wrigley Field. Cubs leading the Mariners 9-3. The next pitch is a ground ball through in a left center field for a base hit. The Cubs infield was playing Crawford around to pull, meaning Swanson, the shortstop, was up the middle just to the left of the second base bag, and the traditional shortstop area was vacated. And wouldn't you know it, that's where Crawford served one up for a base hit. Now that'll bring up Julio Rodriguez, the number 2 hitter in the Mariners order, hitting at .256 on the year with 10 home runs. Pitch. A bouncing ball hit on the right side, ranging to his left corner. Fields and flips to first in time to get Rodriguez. One away, advancing to second on the play. J.P. Crawford. The first out brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming.
Well, Horton's still in the ball game and, still doing his job. Cubs with a big lead at 9-3. He has done a very good job of, battling, pitching ahead in the count for the most part, and just firing strikes with his good stuff, fastball and curveball or fastball slider.
Changeup low to Cal Raleigh.
Hasn't thrown a lot of those. He's thrown a few changeups today, but it's been a lot of fastball slider.
Horton works on the third base side of the rubber. Right-hander deals. And Raleigh swings and fouls one into the glove of the catcher, Kelly. 1-1 the count. It's a fastball from Horton. A reminder that Spiegel and Holmes talk Cubs baseball and Chicago sports every weekday from 2 to 6 on 670 The Score and the Odyssey app. Raleigh, a switch hitter, batting from the left side against Horton. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss.
There's maybe the best change he's thrown all night or all day. That was a very good change. Great arm action and great location down and away.
1-2 the count on Raleigh. The major league leader in home runs this season with 29. He had 2 in yesterday's opener, a Mariners victory. Cubs up 9-3 with 1 on and 1 out here in the top of the 5th. The pitch. And check swing foul ball. 2-2. Just got a piece of a curveball from Horton. Hey, we need Rich Wyatt's guests in the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game.
I can do that. Let's do 40,500, Zach.
40,500. Thanks, Rich. It's our engineer today, helping us flash through the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices. The 1-2. Raleigh dribbles one on the left side, charging. Bruhan fields. His throw is in time to get Raleigh 2 away. Crawford moves to third. Crawford stays at second.
Nice play by Bruhan. This ball is cued off the end of the bat by Raleigh. And this is not an easy catch of a ball on the run by Bruhan at third because of the spin of the baseball. If you don't catch it perfect in the glove, it's going to hit and spin out. But Bruhan made a nice catch, and he's always got a very strong arm across the diamond.
So now the batter is Jorge Polanco. The pitch. Polanco chops it foul to the right. 0-1. Cubs 9, Mariners 3 here with 2 away in the top of the 5th, and Crawford with good speed at second base.
Horton with 83 pitches in the ball game, and I would anticipate, Cubs kind of keeping a real close eye on him now. You need to get outs, the most you can as a starting pitcher. But boy, on a day like today, that the tank can run empty real quick.
That last pitch low, now the 1-1. Polanco pops it up, foul territory off to the left. Bruhan giving chase, but this one's in the stands, out of play. Just beyond the Cubs dugout along the third base line. 1-2 the count on Polanco. Yeah, it's one of those steamy days, the hottest of the year here at Wrigley Field this season. Temperature at 94 degrees at first pitch. Sunny, wind blowing out at 20 miles per hour. And it feels much hotter than that down there on the field. Horton deals the 1-2. Pulled foul on the ground by Polanco.
I've been paying close attention to Horton on the field while he's pitching, and not one time have I ever seen him where it seems where the heat or the wind conditions have bothered him at all. It looks, very impressive because this is not an easy day to pitch. And the strike zone early in the game was very tight. So you had a lot of things going against the pitcher. And not one time did he question a call. He did nothing. He's been just rock solid today. Very impressive.
The pitch is low and inside to Polanco. Slider that missed. Count even at 2-2. Ian Happ and Kyle Tucker got the scoring party started for the Cubs with back-to-back home runs in the first. Happ's got 2 home runs on the day. Michael Busch, a 3-run shot. And now the 2-2. Ground ball past the diving Horner in a right field for a base hit. Stopping at third, Crawford. A 2-out single for Polanco. And now the Mariners have men at the corners with 2 away and Randy Arozarena 2 up.
Great effort by Nico. This ball's hitting a hole between second and first. He lays out for this ball, and it just kicks up the last hop. He thought he had it, and it just bounced up and got up over the thumb of his glove. Kind of slaps the ground. He thought he had that ball, but just couldn't come up with it.
Cubs pitching coach Tommy Hotovy now on the mound, having a conversation with Horton, the catcher Carson Kelly, and the rest of the Cubs infield. 2 away, top 5. Mariners have men at the corners. Randy Arozarena due up. Cubs with a 9-3 lead over the Mariners. We're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. Had some fun with this throughout the week. Talked to both Dansby Swanson and Nico Horner in our pregame show. And I asked both of them, who's the best defensive player for the Cubs up the middle? In sports, no matter what it is, if you're good up the middle defensively, chances are you're going to have a really good team. And the Cubs do, in large part, because of their defense up the middle. I'll tell you both their answers in a sec as Rosarena digs in. Right-handed batter against the right-hander Horton. He looks at first, and that's where Polanco is. Crawford at third. Throw to first, diving back in safely, Polanco. Swanson was diplomatic, and he said that the thing that stands out to him, it's not just the up-the-middle defense, it's the defense for the Cubs at every position this season. Horton sets, kicks, and deals. Rosarena, an awkward check swing and miss, 0-1. Nico immediately said what I think most people would say, Pete Crow Armstrong. The defense that we've seen from him throughout this first half of the season. Now the 0-1. A ground ball pulled on the left side, behind the bag, backhanded by Brujan, throw to first, and Bush can't dig it out. It squirts past him, coming in to score Crawford, moving to third on the play, Polanco, and Rosarena ends up at second base. It's now 9-4 Cubs over the Mariners here in the fifth.
Ball hit sharply down the line. Nice pickup by Brujan, but he stumbles a little bit, and I think that throws him off just a little. And he pulls this throw to first base to Michael Bush, and it's right at the dirt level. Michael thought he was going to get a little hop, didn't get the glove down just enough, and it hit the tip of his glove and goes past him, and it'll be an error on Brujan. Very tough error for him. It was an excellent play. I know Michael at first base probably going, God, there's plays I could have had. That's a tough pick for a first baseman, kind of a backhand stretching across. And it'll end up bringing in a run. And now that brings out Craig Counsell. And because of that, with 2 outs, Horton will get taken out of the game here at 4 2/3 and will not qualify for a win.
Veteran left-hander Drew Pomerantz has been warming up in the bullpen. Counsell has not made an indication that he's going to take out the pitcher, but Tommy Hotovy visited the mound earlier in this frame, and now Counsell makes the signal to the bullpen. That'll be all for Cade Horton. Get a nice round of applause from the fans pitching in these difficult conditions here at Wrigley Field today. So men at second and third for Seattle here in the top of the fifth. Cubs with a 9-4 lead. 2 away for Seattle, and Luke Raley due up. Pitching change. This is the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Chicago. This is Michael Bush. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Ever feel like the road is out to... Thankfully, Hyundai is always working to ensure it doesn't, with over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
Right now, for a limited time, you can lease the Hyundai Tucson for $259 a month or get $1,750 bonus cash. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end July 7th. Call 224-661-0068 for details.
Welcome to Dugout Radio, the undisputed home of Boomtown Baseball.
The Wi-Fi is booming with Xfinity, baby. Our next caller is Stacy. How do you stay locked in on every pitch and play?
We stream it all live on Xfinity Internet with low lag, 99.99% network reliability, and speeds faster than a base runner beating the throw to home plate.
I stream on my TV, tablets, even my smart fridge. Smart fridge.
With all those games, we gotta refuel.
Stream live baseball with Wi-Fi built for the biggest moments. Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed.
Pitching changes by the Cubs are sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. So veteran left-hander Drew Pomerantz takes over for Cade Horton here with 2 on and 2 out for the Mariners in the top of the fifth. Cubs with a 9-4 lead over Seattle. Pomerantz has been lights out for the Cubs this season. 21 appearances. He's got a 0.00 ERA and a record of 2-1. Luke Raley stands in, left-handed batter. Pomerantz works on the first base side of the rubber. He kicks and delivers. Raley swings, pops it foul out of play. Off to the left, 0-1.
Now with 2 outs, it's going to be important for Pomerantz to just make some good pitches to Raley. He came into the ball game in the middle of the game yesterday and did some damage against the Cubs.
The next pitch is low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The count on Raley. Polanco is at third. Arozarena at second. 2 away. Pomeranz steals. Breaking ball that's hit foul at the plate. 1-2.
An inside hook. You don't see that too often, but an effective pitch. That one stayed right on the inside corner.
Nine 4 Cubs here with 2 away. Pomeranz steals. Foul back. 1-2. Pomeranz going with a fastball there. And it's second and third for Seattle with 2 away. Pomeranz is ready. Sets at the belt, looks at second, works his motion, and the pitch. Line drive over a leaping Horner into right field for a base hit. Polanco scores. Stopping at third is Arozarena. And the Mariners move a little more closer. It's now 9-5 Cubs here in the 5th. And Seattle still with men at the corners and 2 away.
Now this pitch ahead in the count. Pomeranz makes a mistake and throws this one in the middle of the strike zone and really smokes this ball right over a leaping Horner at second. Couldn't quite get there, but hit very sharp.
So Arozarena at third, Raley at first. The batter, Donovan Solano. Right-handed hitter against the lefty Pomeranz. And the pitch. Called strike. Fastball. Top of the zone on the outer edge. 0-1. 9-5 Cubs, the pitch. That's low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
All opponents' pitching changes. They're sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs. Leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Visit sloan.com.
Mariners have scored twice in this frame. Pomeranz looking to end it here. The 1-1. Solano swings and misses. 1-2.
The gas at the top of the zone. That one, the running fastball. Away from Solano right at the top of the strike zone.
Arozarena at third. Raley at first. Solano at the plate. The count 1-2 with 2 away. Cubs with a 9-5 lead over Seattle. The middle game of a 3-game set. And a throw over to first, getting back standing up Raley.
Got to watch Arozarena at third base. He is a guy that with very good speed, and he's not afraid to take some chances on the bases. He got way down the third base line on the throw over to first.
The 1-2, Solano grounds one on the right side through for a base hit. Coming in to score Arozarena. Stopping at second, Raley. Donovan Solano with an RBI single, his second of the game. And now it's 9-6 Cubs over the Mariners here in the 5th. Seattle has scored 3 times in this frame.
A couple balls hit to the right side. This one just a routine ground ball, but Nico playing right up the middle, and this ball just a 3-hopper, routine ground ball, but no one there. And drives in that third run. You knew this was going to be one of them games where there would be a lot of runs scored, and it is.
Cole Young at the plate looks at a strike from Pomeranz, a fastball. 0-1. Young represents the tying run at the plate. Cubs up by 3. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball that's foul back. 0-2.
Yeah, these are days, and we've seen them here at Wrigley. I've played in them. We've watched them. The game is a long way from over when you're talking about the 5th inning.
And the 0-2. Called strike 3 as Pomeranz freezes Young with a fastball. That ends the top half of the 5th inning, but not before the Mariners score 3 times to make it a 3-run ball game. Cubs 9, Seattle 6, middle 5 on the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Chicago, this is Matthew Boyd. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
I don't mean to interrupt your meal, but I saw you from across the cafe, and you're the Geico Gecko, right?
In the flesh.
Oh, my goodness. This is huge to finally meet you. I love Geico's fast and friendly claim service.
Well, that's how Geico gets 97% customer satisfaction.
Anyway, that's all. Enjoy the rest of your food.
No worries. So are you just going to watch me eat?
Oh, sorry. Just a little starstruck. I'll be on my way.
If you're going to stick around, just pull up a chair.
You're the best.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Ahorre en grande durante todo el mes en el evento de ventas de verano de Rey Chevrolet. Venga hoy mismo y explore más de 1,000 vehículos disponibles. Y ahora mismo obtenga $10,000 de descuento sobre el MSRP en modelos nuevos Chevrolet seleccionados. Con la promesa de precio de Rey, el precio nunca cambia. Disfruta los ahorros de verano durante todo el mes visitando Rey Chevrolet en Fox Lake o en reychevrolet.com. Sirviendo a la comunidad desde 1963. Conduzcamos juntos.
Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this track to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Bottom of the fifth inning here at Wrigley Field. The Cubs with a 9-6 lead over the Mariners. Seattle has a new man on the mound. Right-hander Zach Pop takes over for the starter Emerson Hancock. Pete Crow Armstrong will lead things off here in the fifth for the Cubs. A long set by Pop. High leg kick and pitch. And it's low and outside for ball one to PCA.
He just punched out in his first AB and then hit a double down the left field line that wind kind of blew back into fair territory.
The 1-0. Fly ball hit deep down the right field line, and this one is gone. A laser to right just over the netting. It smacked off the auxiliary scoreboard, and Pete Crow Armstrong has his 21st home run of the season. A solo shot down the line to straight right.
Well, we were talking about a couple innings ago, Pat and I both, about the importance of that base hit, that double that Pete hit down the left field line. If for a young guy as great as he's playing, you know, the confidence can go up and down, and yesterday was not a great day for him. He's missed 2 fly balls in center because of the elements, the sun and the wind. And you get that double, and now all of a sudden some of that can be wiped away and, you know, get back into the game a little bit. And then he bangs one off the video board and right now. Big swing of the bat for the Cubs and Pete Crow Armstrong.
It's a 10-6 lead for the Cubs here in the bottom half of the fifth inning as Dansby Swanson swings and misses at the first pitch from Pop, 0-1. The next pitch is another swing and miss at a slider in the hole, 0-2.
They're showing some shots of the Cubs dugout. You know, and I'm sure the Mariners dugout, we just haven't seen it, but the Mariners dugout also. Telling you what, these guys are gassed. It has got to be really, really tough conditions down on that field, as hot as it is down on that field.
Now the 0-2. Swanson takes the ball outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Another hefty home run. Official trash bag of the Chicago Cubs. Hefty strength that's anything but ordinary. A 382-foot drive to right. Exit velocity 110 miles per hour. Swanson takes the ball low and outside, 2-2.
That was a really nice 4-iron he hit. Little draw. Right at the flagpole.
It left in a hurry. The only question was, would it have enough height to clear the netting? And it did. The 2-2. Swanson takes ball 3 inside. Get you a station identification right after Swanson's plate appearance. Pop sets at the belt. First base side of the rubber. Kicks and delivers. Swanson grounds one foul off to the left. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Talk Cubs with us on Spiegel and Holmes, 2 to 6 afternoons on the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network, WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Alongside Ron Coomer, Zach Saveman with you. Dansby Swanson at the plate. He swings and lines one in the left center field for a base hit. So back-to-back hits for the Cubs to begin the fifth inning. Pete Crow Armstrong, a solo shot to right. Now Swanson with a single up the middle.
Good swing by Dansby as he takes his two-seam fastball, a little kind of three-quarter delivered. This ball running in hard on him, up and in, and he clears that ball out of there. Now Michael Bush, who is but on base twice, walked and scored a run in the second, then hit a line drive bullet off the video board like somewhat close to where Pete's landed for a 3-run homer. Bush having some trouble with his arm guard. That thing he puts on his right tricep. It's not. A lot of things don't work when it's 95 degrees and humid.
So he just threw it away.
Yeah.
First pitch to Bush. A one-hopper fielded by the pitcher, Pop. Underhand toss to first in time to get Bush. He froze. Initially, he thought about going to second and then flipped to first. So Swanson advances to second. Bush is retired, one away here in the bottom of the fifth.
I don't know about that. He's not that good a actor. I don't think he likes throwing to the bases. That would be my thought. That's one of those things for when you have scouts that are actually in the seats watching games. Question mark. Ding. Now we got to watch if you're in a close game. Will he throw the ball to the bases?
Good eye.
We have seen that before where pitchers do not like to throw, and then he ran over towards first and underhanded him.
Carson Kelly looks at a ball low and outside, 1-0. Swanson's at second base, one down. Bottom of the fifth, Cubs 10, Mariners 6. Kelly waits the pitch. Way outside. 2-0. Kelly's 1 for 2. Cubs have hit 5 home runs so far, and we're not even done with the fifth inning. Righty-righty matchup. Pop delivers. That's a called strike.
I'm looking down, so the big video board in left field, I'm looking just to the left of that, which is Kenmore, and it goes down, it kind of dead ends into Wrigley Field, but there's some trees about the second house down. They are just blowing away from Wrigley Field. This reminds me of one of the days that Dave Kingman had his big 3 home run day here at Wrigley, and he blasted one right down Kenmore, and it landed down the street like 2 houses down the street. This would be one of them days.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
2-2 the count. Kelly waits the pitch. Way outside. Full count. If there wasn't video to prove it, you'd never believe someone could hit a ball that far.
Not a baseball, no, but I saw it with my own 2 eyes, and it was impressive.
And now the payoff pitch. Kelly fouls it off to the right.
There's been some great home run hitters in our game. We had one in the booth yesterday in Sammy, but I'll say this. Dave Kingman, when I was a kid, hit some of the most impressive high, long home runs that you would ever see, ever. Just long. I would love to see him take batting practice with that video board and left, see where he would hit a ball.
Kelly pops it up behind the plate. The catcher, Raleigh, can't find it, and it bounces foul. Racing in from third base was Williamson, but that ball landed just to the left of Kelly, who was standing in the box for a foul ball. We've seen a number of those here today. 3-2 the count. Man. Pop leans in, gets the sign from Raleigh, straightens up, sets at the belt. And now the 3-2. Kelly swings and misses, strike 3. Down with a cutter, 2 away.
Pretty good pitch. That one starts out inner half and ends up just off the plate away. Here's where Nico needs one of those same pitches to just stay inside and hang and knock that goose egg off the board. Nico does not have a home run this year. He's hitting .285 with 31 driven in, but no home runs.
Swanson at second, 2 away. The pitch. Warner takes a strike on the outside corner, sinking fastball at 95 miles per hour. Tuesday, July 1st, Youth Baseball and Softball Night presented by High Chew. Fans who purchase tickets at Cubs.com/specials will receive a Cubs sliding glove. Be here for it. Here comes the 0-1. Nico pulls it foul on the ground off to the left, 0-2.
High Chew people were set up passing out their candy as when we were coming up from downstairs, and everybody, kids going by and getting it. Think they'd bring some up to the booth. As hot as it is, we could probably use some.
I hope they're listening.
Hey, Rich, can you help us out?
Nico waits. Here comes the 0-2. That's in the dirt. Blocked by the catcher, Raleigh. Swanson stays at second. And some ice water, too, Rich.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, there's not enough of that to go around for the 40,000 people that are here today.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Stay hydrated. If you're listening down there in the stands, it is some kind of hot. When you get the cold one, also get another cold one that's water, that's clear.
Pitch outside, 2-2 the count as Pop misses with a slider.
Yeah, the flights by Yingling, that doesn't qualify as hydrating.
No. That enhances your refreshment,
Yes,
but you also need to hydrate after that. A bluff throw to second by Pop. There was no Mariners infielder anywhere near second base. Yes, the heat index. Oh, it feels hotter than 100 degrees, especially on the field. 2-2 the count. Horner waits. Pop deals. Swanson runs. The pitch. And we have a did that hit Nico? Yeah, it hit Nico. Sorry, the umpire, Chad Whitson, jumped out from behind home plate.
That's when nicks Nico in the arm guard just a little bit, and he gets his base. But the reason that's important is Dansby took off for third. They weren't holding him at all, so he would have had a stolen base.
Yes, sir.
If it was a walk.
Swanson has to head back to second. Nico's at first after getting hit by a pitch. Brief timeout as the pitching coach, Pete Woodworth, jogged out to the mound to have a conversation with Pop. 2 away here in the blast of the fifth. It's the Cubs with a 10-6 lead over the Mariners. Cubs have scored once in this frame on a solo shot by Pete Crow Armstrong. His 21st of the year. And here comes Vidal Brujan, the Cubs' third baseman today. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Hitting from the left side against the right-hander Pop, with Swanson at second and Horner at first. Brujan has an open stance from the left side. The pitch. A bouncing ball hit on the right side, backhanded on the outfield grass by Young. Is throw to first in time to get Brujan for out number 3. Cubs leave 2, but score 1 on the home run by PCA after 5. 10-6 Cubs over Seattle on the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cub fans, Craig Counsell here. Pat and Ron call every game on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
I don't mean to interrupt your meal, but I saw you from across a cafe, and you're the Geico Gecko, right?
In the flesh.
Oh, my goodness. This is huge to finally meet you. I love Geico's fast and friendly claim service.
Well, that's how Geico gets 97% customer satisfaction.
Anyway, that's all. Enjoy the rest of your food.
No worries. So are you just going to watch me eat?
Oh, sorry. Just a little starstruck. I'll be on my way.
If you're going to stick around, just pull up a chair.
You're the best.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years, guaranteed, on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit the Berwyn Verizon store at 7160 Shermack Road today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Uh-oh, you spot a work zone up ahead, but you're already running late. Hey, is that extra minute really worth risking your safety? Decision time. Will you push your luck and speed through? Or you mind the signs, avoid the fines? Yeah, that's what I thought. Slow down and pass through cautiously. Hard hats off to you, sir. Level pass. While the next work zone is loading, head to itsnotagameillinois.com/arcade to play.
There's a delay in the ballpark, and the Cubs ball players are walking off the field at the end of 5 innings. I'm not exactly sure what is going on. The Cubs with a lead of 10-6. And strangely, the Cubs all took their places on defense and then were waved off the field. And I'm sure we'll get a reason why momentarily, but I'm in a quandary as to exactly what's going on. Again, all the Cubs defensive players had run out to their spots. Pete Crow Armstrong ran out to center, and Happ was in left, and Tucker in right. And then all of a sudden, the umpires started waving the players in. And I can only surmise, Ron, that the weather has something to do with this move, but it's a very unusual move, still the same.
I would agree. Now, Chad Woodson, who is umpiring home plate, is not on the field. And what I'm guessing is maybe, because we only see 2 umpires on the field.
There it is.
Right? So Chad Woodson went inside. I mean, it is an unbelievably hot day today here at Wrigley. The hottest we've had all year by far. So Chad might have needed to just go inside, and maybe they're going to change umpires and someone else is going to finish the game just because of the weather. And you can understand it. He's out there, all the other guys, the 2 catchers, get a chance to get in the dugout and get out of the heat. He does not. He has to stay there.
Ron, I think you've hit it exactly on the head, because there is no sight right now of the home plate umpire, Chad Whitson. So
right.
we certainly hope he is not suffering or seriously ill. But you're right. In this oppressive heat and humidity, you've got all the chest protectors and the shin guards and the extra steel-plated toes, and of course you're wearing a heavy mask, and none of those things are things that you want to be wearing on a day like today. You want to wear less clothing instead of more, and a home plate umpire really has no choice. You got to protect yourself, but in doing so, it just makes it more humid and more uncomfortable.
No doubt. There's only so much you can do, and then there comes a time where you start getting, and there's paramedics now coming down on the field going and walking over towards Seattle's dugout. I would bet that's it. That's got to be the case. They're going over, and, for Chad, you just hope he's okay. It's one of those things that, and we were talking about it earlier in the ballgame, that these things happen, and, you start getting a little oozy, but you're like, I'm okay, no big deal, all right, we'll play, and then next thing you know, you're out of gas. And I mean, like right now, and, it gets dangerous. So I love that they just pull the guys off the field. And I know fans don't like it. They haven't done anything, no booing or nothing, but you just realize that it's really a tough environment to play. And extreme for the umpire, the guy behind home plate, Chad Woodson.
Again, at the end of 5 innings, the Cubs leading the game by a score of 10-6. Cubs hitting 4 home runs already in the first 5 innings, 2 by Ian Happ, 1 by Michael Busch, and then a solo by Pete Crow Armstrong in that 5th inning. Seattle without a home run today, but they are out hitting the Cubs 9-8. Very difficult day to pitch at Wrigley Field. Difficult to be a professional athlete.
Yeah.
Outdoors in this, no matter what position you play.
No doubt. Well, the way you can really tell is when you look down at both dugouts, there's 2 players sitting out in the normal bench in the sun for Seattle, and there's a trainer and 1 player for the Cubs. Everybody else is out of the sun back where normally everybody is at the rail or sitting out there when normal. Not today.
So if, in fact, Chad Whitson is not going to continue, and I would say there's a strong likelihood of that, one of the other 3 umpires will have to put on the mask and the chest protector and the shin guards and maybe change shoes, and that'll take a few minutes.
I'm guessing that's what's happening right now is one of the other 3 umpires has gone into the dressing room and is changing and putting on all of his gear to come back out. That would be my guess.
But we have not received any word, but Ron, I'm pretty sure that you were exactly right, since we only saw a couple of umpires on the field, and I'll tell you, I'm kind of alarmed by the paramedic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man that
yes.
was kind of hustling over to see what was going on. That's definitely bothering me, and we hope that Chad Whitson or whomever else it might be is okay. But it's hot, and it seems like these first real hot days, it's kind of a shockingly hot because you're just not used to it. Maybe in mid-July, after you've had 10 or 12 of these, they're still not easy, but it's not such a shock to your system.
Yeah. Well, it kind of sneaks up on you. Yesterday was a beautiful day here at Wrigley, and if you were out here yesterday and now you're out here again today, did you hydrate enough yesterday and last night to be out in weather like this?
So there's a break in the action. Big crowd at Wrigley. It's a sellout. 39,047 are here. And no announcement has been made as to why the game has temporarily been halted. And, of course, we'll pass along anything we can as soon as we hear something. But Zach Zaidman is going to give us a little scoreboard update. Zach, have you heard anything about what's going on here at Wrigley?
Nothing has been officially announced, so let's get you caught up to date on what's happening around Major League Baseball during this delay. The Out-of-Town Scoreboard is sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app now and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. And by the way, we want to thank the guys from High Chew who just came into the food. They heard us, and they have provided us with a lot of candy for the remainder of the game.
That is awesome. Last inning, we were talking, and I said the people from High Chew were right in all the entrances. I said, if you're listening, guys, we could use some of that candy. And I asked Rich, what do you think? And boom, here we go.
Edwin Moscoso has put on the gear. He has been umpiring first base. He is now going to be the home plate umpire. Chad Whitson is not on the field. And again, we hope he is okay. So it'll be a three-man crew. You will not have an umpire out at second base. You're going to have an umpire down each line and the home plate umpire, which is not that big of a deal, but there will be some plays that come up, Ron, where it could factor into making a difficult call.
Yeah, you just, as the umpires, there might be a little out of practice, for the mechanics of the three-man crew instead of the four-man crew, but they'll get it down. It'll be just fine.
Drew Pomeranz is warming up. We're ready for the resumption of play. And as soon as we hear anything regarding Chad Whitson and his well-being, we will certainly be happy to pass that along. Cubs on top 10-6, which is kind of the game. It's almost exactly the kind of a game you expected in these conditions.
You and I were chuckling right as we were going on the air. You're looking at the flag, and the gusts that we were reporting were up to 30 miles an hour wind gusts to straight center field. So you knew everything that's going to be hitting the air is going to fly out the center and right and left.
Okay, Ben Williamson stepping in. First pitch, fly ball to right. On the run, Tucker has to play it on a bounce. It's a base hit. Ben Williamson, a leadoff opposite field single. A man at first, nobody out, sixth inning. Cubs on top 10-6, and the batter, J.P. Crawford.
Well, once again, we really hope Chad Whitson is okay. Whitson up the first half of the game in this crazy, crazy hot day. So hopefully he is okay.
Now lefty to lefty as Crawford takes inside. Crawford 1 for 3. Cubs lead by 4. Sixth inning. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. There's a good fastball for a strike. Again, Edwin Moscoso now calling balls and strikes. Short lead at first by Williamson. Here's a bouncing ball right side. That's going to be a base hit past a diving Horner. Racing to third on the play, Williamson. And immediately Seattle threatening with back-to-back singles against Drew Pomeranz. Runners at first and third, and the batter Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah, little breaking ball starts out inside, ends up in the middle of the plate. Crawford just hooks this ball and hits it past Nico. Williamson, who runs well. We saw that yesterday with him making some great plays, very athletic. Easily goes first to third.
Brad Keller, a right-hander throwing in the bullpen. I think Craig Counsell is going to make a pitching change right now. Yep, pitching change coming up. There's the call to the bullpen. Pitching changes for the Cubs. Sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. We are in inning number 6. Cubs 10, Mariners 6. We'll be back with more baseball after this on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk with Spiegel and Holmes on your ride home, afternoons 2 to 6 on The Score.
There's nothing better than watching the game live. And with Xfinity Sports and News TV, you can stream over 50 live channels for $150 less than YouTube TV per year. From game time to prime time. It's the local channels you love, the news channels you need, and the sports channels you can't live without. History-making moments aren't going to wait for you, and replays never do it justice. So get Xfinity Sports and News TV today for all the live action you could want. Plus, you can save even more with Peacock Premium. A $7.99 a month value included at no extra cost. Xfinity Sports and News TV. The live TV you love, with savings you'll love even more. To learn more, go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Savings compares Xfinity Sports and News TV at $70 per month to YouTube TV at $82.99 per month.
The Out-of-Town Scoreboard, sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app now and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. We talked about Clark Schmidt of the Yankees earlier. He went 7 hitless and scoreless innings for the Yankees today. New York ended up one-hitting Baltimore as the Yankees win big 9-0. Pat?
Okay, Zach, so the youngster probably reached a pitch count and maybe even exceeded that limit, and Aaron Boone and the brass decided we just can't afford to let him go much further.
Yeah, he threw 103 pitches before being removed from the game.
Okay. Brad Keller, the new pitcher for the Cubs. Runners at first and third. And the first pitch to Julio Rodriguez is inside. Seattle out hitting the Cubs 11-8. But the Cubs enjoy a 10-6 lead. Rodriguez 1 for 2 with a walk. Swings and taps it foul. The Reds have rallied in St. Louis. The Cincinnati Ball Club leading the Cardinals 4-2. That's an 8th inning score at Busch Stadium. Cubs are going to play 4 against the Cardinals starting Monday night in St. Louis. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed, a vanishing slider. What would you like to see on 1 and 2?
You got options. Keller with I like Keller with the high fastball here. Just to blaze one up top. Out of the zone, though. Definitely not a strike. And see if you can get a punch out.
Right-hander. Swinging a foul back. He did blaze the fastball. Tried to jam him, it looked like.
Yeah, that was up and in. Now, right back to that slider and see if you can get Rodriguez to chase the slider. This guy's one of the premier players in our game. Julio Rodriguez.
And now the 1-2. Lifted to right, foul, and this is going to stay out of play. Flags blowing straight out to center. This, I would say, is the best hitting condition day that we've had all year. And the most difficult pitcher's day. Here comes the 1-2 to Rodriguez. Low and inside for a ball.
This really reminds me of a day when I was young watching Cubs. I believe it was Cubs Dodgers. So the Cubs Dodgers or Cubs Phillies. when Kingman hit the 3 home runs. And I'm looking down Kenmore, Pat. We were talking, and the trees going down Kenmore.
Swinging a tap foul run.
They're just deleted. The whole trees are being blown away from Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
And I remember watching Dave Kingman hit a home run down Kenmore, and it went out of the ballpark by so far. It was like it could have been a home run twice. You know what I mean? It was just like it never came down. And, the ball's bouncing down the street. They had a camera shot of it on WGN years ago. Just awesome.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. A slider got him. Big strikeout for Brad Keller. 1 away in the inning. Now Cal Raleigh, who leads the big leagues in home runs with 29, stepping in. This is a big at-bat in this game.
Absolutely. Raleigh put on a show yesterday with 2 home runs to left. One a long one down the left field line.
Big burly switch hitter batting left-handed. Infield back. Runners at first and third. The pitch to Raleigh. Outside.
Would say Raleigh is a very good double play candidate. He runs average, but he also does a very good job of getting the ball in the air to the pull side. That's been one of the things why he's hit so many home runs.
It's high for ball 2. This date in baseball history, 1964. Jim Bunning of the Phillies pitched a perfect game against the Mets at Old Shea Stadium. The next offering in there for a strike. It gave Bunning a no-hitter in each league. Runners at first and third, 1 away. Cubs lead 10-6, 6th inning. Raleigh lays off. Now the count 3-1. Be careful here.
This is almost one of them situations where he's got to hit your pitch or you just walk him and take your chances with the next guy. 29 and 63, and we're not at the halfway point yet, and he's hitting 270. Amazing numbers.
Now the 3-1 from Keller. Swinging a foul back. He challenged him. What's on your mind on 3-2?
Elevated heater. I'd go with that high fastball. That last fastball on the outside corner. Good 3-1 pitch by Keller. It was right on the corner at the knees. You might be able to come up and in the strike zone and get a little fly ball or a strikeout.
The 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Raleigh got fooled. He started to swing. He was fooled, tried to check his swing, and then half-heartedly swung anyway. Very peculiar-looking cut for the Major League's home run leader, but down he goes on a strikeout.
He was absolutely thinking he was going to get a breaking ball there and got the gas at 98 miles an hour. Keller hits the strike zone at the knees. Big strikeout for Brad Keller.
2 down. The batter is Jorge Polanco. And the pitch to Polanco is a strike. Polanco has walked and doubled and singled. And now the 1 strike pitch from the right-hander Keller. Swinging a foul back, 0-2. What pitch could get him, Ron?
You got 2 options. I really thought Polanco did a pretty good job of getting to that high fastball, that last pitch. This might be a good time to spin one down and in, see if you can get him to chase the slider.
This big crowd making a lot of noise. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. What a job by Brad Keller. The Mariners do not score. 3 straight strikeouts for Keller to end the inning. What a job. We go to the bottom of inning number 6. Cubs 10, Seattle 6 on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Pete Crow Armstrong. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Get ready for July 4th with early savings at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances and get an additional 10% off 2 or more select major appliances. Plus, get 3 Stay Green or premium 2 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. These deals are coming in hot. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 6/25. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Hi. Welcome to the neighborhood. Nice to meet some new neighbors.
Hey, I live across the street. Quick word about my allergies.
I'm Janice. The last owners just made me a key. Oh, it was easier.
Moving can bring all kinds of surprises. So it's good to know there's one thing you can depend on. AT&T Fiber. It's covered by the AT&T Guarantee. So if there's a network interruption, we'll proactively make it right with the credit for a full day of service. Limited availability in select areas. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
I don't mean to interrupt your meal, but I saw you from across the cafe, and you're the Geico Gecko, right?
In the flesh.
Oh, my goodness. This is huge to finally meet you. I love Geico's fast and friendly claim service.
Well, that's how Geico gets 97% customer satisfaction.
Anyway, that's all. Enjoy the rest of your food.
No worries. So are you just going to watch me eat?
Oh, sorry. Just a little starstruck. I'll be on my way.
If you're going to stick around, just pull up a chair.
You're the best.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Ian Happ is on deck for the Cubs. Who's on deck is brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com.
All right, Zach. Ian Happ already with a 2-homer day. He's leading off this Cubs 6th inning. Facing the new right-hander Trent Thornton. And Ian fouls it away, 0-2. Happ had a first-inning home run on the very first pitch he saw. And then he belted a 3-run homer in the second inning. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter, the 0-2. Low and inside for a ball.
And what's on tap here in the 6th inning, sponsored by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. And what's on tap here in the 6th? How about the 3 consecutive punch-outs by Keller to get out of the top half of the inning with 2 men on first and third?
Here's the 1-2, low and in.
That was impressive.
We always talk about how important strikeouts are on a day like today because any ball hit in play is dangerous.
That was gas. He just blew the Mariner hitters away right through the heart of their lineup. That was impressive.
Happ swings and misses strike 3, and that's the first out in the 6th inning. Opposing pitching changes. Those are always brought to you by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Visit Sloan.com. Kyle Tucker has homered and lined out and struck out. He will lay off a high fastball that's called a strike. Tucker now with 14 home runs, 44 runs batted in. Same 2 teams tomorrow. Series finale at 1:20 in the afternoon. Of course, we'll be here for you. Colin Ray against Logan Gilbert. And the 1-1 is in there for a strike. I saw the name Logan Gilbert. It's another one of those names like Connor Joe, where it almost seems like there should be a comma, right?
Okay.
Like Gilbert Logan would be a good name.
Yeah.
I mean, not that Logan Gilbert is not a good name. Here's the 1-2 on the way. Swing and a foul at the plate. But Joe Connor, to me, makes more sense than Connor Joe. I just had to get these things off my chest, Ron.
Now,
boy, do I feel better.
I'm glad. I'm very glad. Now, were you pondering these things about 7 o'clock this morning when you were reading about the game today?
A little earlier than that. Here's a pitch outside for a ball, 2-2.
The little guys had breakfast early this morning,
Yes,
didn't they?
they did. They always do. Yeah, they're always ready. My little dogs, Sophie and Bouncer. 2-2 pitch down low for a ball.
Now, I get the Sophie name. When dogs are pup, how did Bouncer get his name?
If you knew him, you'd say, yep, that's his name.
Okay, got it. Yeah,
he runs
sense,
around. He jumps everywhere, bouncing up and down. His official name is Sir Bounce-A-Lot. Here's a pitch down low, and the count, that's going to be ball 4 to Kyle Tucker. Never thought I would actually share that with our listeners on Cubs Radio, but we're all friends here.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Old Sir Bounce-A-Lot.
Seiya Suzuki, the batter. Tucker gets the walk, 1 out, 1 on. And the pitch to Seiya hit high in the air, shallow center. Rodriguez is there, and he'll make the catch with that turquoise glove of his, and that's out number 2.
And both outfielders, Rosarena coming in from left field and Rayleigh coming in from right. Yeah, and everybody converging on it. That ball's right in the heart of center field. And everybody was there, but Rodriguez made the catch. We've seen it is not easy to catch the fly ball in the middle of the field today.
Cubs lead 10-6. Pete Crow Armstrong swings away and fouls it away. Pete with a double and a homer. He's up to 21 home runs and 60 runs batted in. And as we've been saying lately, we're not even at the halfway point in games played. Here's the next offering. Hit in the air to left field. Shallow and playable for Arozarena. And he makes the catch to end the inning. Cubs don't score. It's on to inning number 7. It is the Cubs 10 and the Mariners 6. This is the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs fans, Ian Happ here. Pat and Ron call every game on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Get ready for July 4th with early savings at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances and get an additional 10% off 2 or more select major appliances. Plus, get 3 Stay Green or premium 2 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. These deals are coming in hot. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 6/25. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
I don't mean to interrupt your meal, but I saw you from across the cafe, and you're the Geico Gecko, right?
In the flesh.
Oh, my goodness. This is huge to finally meet you. I love Geico's fast and friendly claim service.
Well, that's how Geico gets 97% customer satisfaction.
Anyway, that's all. Enjoy the rest of your food.
No worries. So are you just going to watch me eat?
Oh, sorry. Just a little starstruck. I'll be on my way.
If you're going to stick around, just pull up a chair.
You're the best.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Hi. Welcome to the neighborhood. Nice to meet some new neighbors.
Hey, I live across the street. Quick word about my allergies.
I'm Janice. The last owners just made me a key. Oh, it was easier.
Moving can bring all kinds of surprises. So it's good to know there's one thing you can depend on. AT&T Fiber. It's covered by the AT&T Guarantee. So if there's a network interruption, we'll proactively make it right with the credit for a full day of service. Limited availability in select areas. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Morning decisions. A creamy mocha frappuccino drink? A sweet vanilla? Maybe a smooth caramel? Or that white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Start your day with bottled Starbucks Frappuccino drinks. Pick up a bottle near you wherever you buy your groceries.
We are coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. Pat?
Very good, Zach. It's on to inning number 7. Randy Arozarena will take down low from Brad Keller. Keller struck out 3 men in a row, coming into relief in the 6th inning. He fires a strike. This date in baseball history brought to you by villageofbedfordpark.com. Now's the time to make history for your business in Bedford Park. Here's a check swing foul on the ground right side. And Ron, one of your mentors, in fact, I think the primary mentor of your hitting and baseball career, the great Carlton Fisk, 1989 on this date. Breaking ball just missed 2-2. He surpassed Yogi Berra as the American League leader for career home runs by a catcher with number 307. And ironically, it came against Yogi's former team, the Yankees.
Of course, right? That's the way baseball works.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Carlton Fisk, one of the most dramatic and historic home runs ever.
1975 World Series.
Yeah.
Breaking ball hits Arozarena in the left shoulder. Kind of a glancing blow. I don't think that caused a lot of pain.
Now a little slider that got away from Keller and hit him in the left shoulder or tricep. You remember watching that game?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
live.
I do too.
Yes.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
And Carlton trying to give body English, pointing toward fair territory.
Yep. Kind of willing it fair. Yeah.
It was on NBC television. Swing and a miss.
Great call, too, right?
I'm trying to think, would that have been Kurt Gowdy?
I think it was Kurt Gowdy right down the left field line and hit the pole.
Dick Stockton was on Red Sox radio, and you hear his call a lot, too. There was a swing and a miss by Luke Raley.
You do hear his call a lot, right? Yeah.
Tony Kubek, I'm pretty sure, was working that game.
The cool thing about that shot, too, is the camera in the Green Monster, instead of tracking the ball, kept the camera on Carlton, on Pudge, and got that shot of him going down the line, trying to will that ball fair. Very cool shot.
The 0-2 to Luke Raley. Cubs lead 10-6. Keller fires. It's high. That was the work of the director, Harry Coyle.
Really?
The late Harry Coyle, a very talented man, and he deserves all the credit for that. That was his idea to put a camera out there in the first place, just for that purpose, Ron.
Yeah.
Line drive, caught by Bush. He will step on the bag. They've got the runner in a rundown, and there's going to be a double play as Swanson will, he's out. The play goes on, but he's already been called out by the first base umpire, Moscoso. Great play by Bush. A smash, but he short hopped. He saw the runner, Arozarena, dancing off the bag, so he alertly tagged the bag. That retired the batter. And then Arozarena became involved in a rundown. And Arozarena, after a couple of tosses, avoided the tag by running out of the baseline. You've got 3 feet. Once you get your baseline established, you can run 3 feet out of that line. If you go too far, you're called automatically out, and that's what happened.
Yep, absolutely. And usually the rule of thumb by an umpire, if a fielder,
big double play though, Ron. Go ahead.
That ball's chopped foul, strike one against Solano. But if you're the fielder in the rundown and you got the ball and you go to reach to tag, and the base runner runs out of your reach of the tag, the umpires almost always call him out of the baseline out. And that's what happened there. Great play by Bushy and Dansby Swanson. But what a catch on that blistering short hop by Michael Bush.
Low and outside for a ball. Michael's a worker, Ron. We've talked about him. He's just is getting better and better defensively, to the point now where there are very few plays in a game that he fails to make.
Yeah.
Very few.
Yeah, Michael is, from the time we saw him kind of making the transition of being an everyday first baseman last year in spring training to now, you talk about a guy who's really worked hard at it and is very good at first base.
Bouncer off the foot of the pitcher. Goes to Swanson. He throws to first. Not in time. Almost a miraculous play. The ball hit off the body of Keller, the pitcher. It caromed over toward the hole. Dansby was going up the middle, reversed his direction, ran over, made the backhand stop, and without setting the feet, made that long off-balance sidearm throw. And it was a short hop play for Bush, who could not come up with the low throw. That's a base hit, but what a great effort by Dansby and by the pitcher and the first baseman. But Dansby, I don't know how he puts his body into a position to make throws sometimes.
Yeah, he's running hard towards the left field foul line, and he's throwing back towards first. An incredible play, and because that play didn't get made, now Keller is going to get taken out of the game. Counsell is at the mound.
He did a great job, Brad Keller. He deserves a good hand from this big crowd at Wrigley. He worked an inning and 2/3 and got 5 very important outs in this game. Pitching change is forthcoming. And a pitching change is always, since, let's see, this is a Saturday. Yep. Pitching changes by the Cubs, sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Cubs lead 10-6. We'll be right back after this on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
This is your home for every pitch of Cubs baseball. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Future You is using their rapid rewards for their next vacation. All thanks to present you signing up with Southwest Airlines, where you earn points every time you fly. Because what's the point of points that future you can't use? And since your rapid rewards points don't expire, you can save up for that big trip. Get ready to reward future you with a future flight. Sign up for rapid rewards today and redeem your points on any seat, any day, anytime. Only at Southwest. All rapid rewards rules and regulations apply and can be found at southwest.com/RR terms.
Hey folks, Coom here. Chicago summers. They get hot, sweat through your shirt before first pitch hot. That's when you reach for Flight by Yingling. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, light, crisp, refreshing enough to cool you down faster than a lake breeze. Whether you're at the ballpark, grilling out, or just beating the Midwest heat, Flight's your go-to. Flight by Yingling, official beer of the Cubs Radio Network. Now that's a refreshing call. DG Yingling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Checking the Major League Baseball scoreboard finals. The Brewers knock off the Twins 9-0. Isaac Collins had a 2-run double in that game. Yankees shut out the Orioles 9-zip. The Rays an 8-3 winner over the Tigers. Pat, former Cub Christopher Morel goes deep for Tampa.
All right, Zach, thank you. Caleb Thielbar, the new left-handed Cubs pitcher, goes to work, and a pitch hit in the air to left. Coming in, Ian Happ makes a nice sprawling backhanded diving catch. Great play by Ian Happ. That's how you win Gold Gloves, with plays like that. Seattle does not score. Cubs lead 10-6. It is time for the 7th inning stretch. And the Cubs lead by 4. And the late, great Harry Carey on the video board is going to perform.
Board as Harry Carey leads us with Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Let me hear you. Good and loud. On 1, on 2, on 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, it's room for the Cubs. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Hey! Boy, you never sang better in your life.
Kramer, Pat Hughes, and Ron Coomer bring you all the action on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
I don't mean to interrupt your meal, but I saw you from across the cafe, and you're the Geico Gecko, right?
In the flesh.
Oh, my goodness. This is huge to finally meet you. I love Geico's fast and friendly claim service.
Well, that's how Geico gets 97% customer satisfaction.
Anyway, that's all. Enjoy the rest of your food.
No worries. So are you just going to watch me eat?
Oh, sorry. Just a little starstruck. I'll be on my way.
If you're going to stick around, just pull up a chair.
You're the best.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away. Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Dansby Swanson will lead off the bottom of this 7th inning. Cubs on top 10-6. No balls and 2 strikes. Trent Thornton still doing the pitching for Seattle. Nice play by Ian Happ to end the top of the inning. We're going to say that's the catch of the game. Sponsored by Catch Des Moines. Discover a weekend getaway where only the S's are silent. Find all the fun at catchdesmoines.com. Swanson with a single and a walk and a run scored. Now the pitch by Thornton. And Dansby chops it foul. I would think as a ball player, Ron, especially if you're a pitcher or a catcher, but really it applies to all of the guys who play all 9 innings. At the end of one of these, you probably feel similar to the way you do after playing a doubleheader.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right?
I know after ball games like this, you'd play a lot of them in Texas, in Arlington, the ballpark in Arlington. You'd come in, and a day like this here at Wrigley, you'd go to your locker, take off all your wet clothes, and you just sit there and just try to regroup a little bit. Because it takes all you got to finish this ball game today and keep playing at an extremely high level. It's not easy.
Swanson trying to crank up a rally. He will swing and miss, strike 3, and that's out number 1. Thornton gets the strikeout. Here comes Michael Busch. Busch had a big blow. He belted a 3-run homer back in the 3rd. And that's the one that really opened up the lead. It gave the Cubs at that time a 9-1 lead. And they still have a fairly comfortable advantage at 10-6. Busch now with 12 home runs, 44 RBIs. So here's a guy, Ron, hitting 6th in the order. 5 games to go before you hit the midway point. And he's already got 44 ribbies.
Yep.
So if he can double that in the second half, and who says he can't? Talking about a guy up near 90 RBIs.
Yeah, hitting, 6th, 5th, 6th for Bushy. He's having a great year. He really is.
Here comes the 1-1. It's inside for a ball, 2-1.
When I think of Michael Busch this season, he's having a great year and everything. There's a consistency to his game day in and day out that you got to love seeing from a young guy that's just playing really solid, good big league baseball.
Here's a pop fly foul off to the left out of play. As you say that, I'm thinking about the veterans on this team. Guys like Ian Happ, Kyle Tucker, Dansby Swanson, Nico Horner, Carson Kelly to a degree.
Yep.
But I wonder if their influence is part of the reason why some of these young guys have fit right in and become so professional in a very short amount of time. Here's a swing and a foul back, 2-2, because the guys I mentioned, they're pretty good role models.
They really are. I would say Turner has a lot to do with that, too. I think he has done a very good job of being available, I guess is a good way of putting it, to all the young guys of being a helper, not a guy, being hard on the young guys. He's been helpful. You see it in the dugout when a young guy is Bushy chops that one foul at the plate. Comes in from a home run. He's a big high-five greeter, talking baseball, but just when veteran players are welcoming, it's a huge benefit to the young player, and that's not always the case.
Yeah, the 2-2 to Busch outside, 3-2. Cubs lead 10-6, trying to get even in this series. Cincinnati leading St. Louis 5-4. The Cardinals now batting in the bottom of the 9th inning. Here's a Tapper foul at the plate. I was guilty of scoreboard watching early in the season. So now that we're in late June, I don't feel guilty at all.
I'm going to go on record and say I don't think you felt real guilty early.
Cubs had a 4.5 game lead on both St. Louis and Milwaukee at the start of the day. There's a chopper foul. Milwaukee thumping Minnesota 9-0. Combined with their 17-6 win last night, they have outscored Minnesota 26-6 in the first 2 games of that series. Now the 3-2. Busch hits it foul on the ground right side.
Good battle here between Busch and Thornton.
The meat of the order presented by Chef IQ Scents. Never under or overcook your food again. Purchase now at chefiq.com. And now the payoff pitch on the way to Michael Bush. From Thornton. Swinging a bouncer foul. What a battle. What a battle.
Thornton keeps rushing that four-seamer in and slider in, and Michael keeps battling it off and hitting it over towards the Mariner dugout.
Thornton always works out of the stretch. Here's a high fly ball center field. Rodriguez camping underneath it and makes the catch. And as you were talking earlier, Ron, he made sure to stay behind the ball.
Yeah,
and he made a routine catch, and that's out number 2.
Big key. Now we got a congratulations wish. Jennifer Conway is a friend of ours at O'Hare Airport. And her daughter's getting married. Mackenzie Widra is getting married to Anton Rudenko. And it's going to be a kind of a split marriage because one is a big Cub fan and one's a Brewer fan.
Line drive, base hit to left by Carson Kelly. So you call that a split marriage?
That is today. I don't know. I really didn't know what to call it. That's what came out.
2-out single for Kelly.
But it could make for some interesting days and nights, know, right? So congratulations to them. They are getting married today, and so we congratulate them. They've been great friends and taking care of us. So congratulations, guys.
We're going to pause 10 seconds right here for station ID. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago's teams on the Spiegel and Holmes Show. Afternoons 2 to 6 on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network. WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, an Odyssey sports station.
With former Cub and All-Star Ron Coomer and Zach Zidman working alongside, it's Pat Hughes reporting. We thank you for being with us. Rich Wyatt is our engineer at the controls. Well, I think we opened the broadcast with something like, it's the kind of a day you just know there's going to be a lot of action in the game. And that was not a great prediction on my part. It just seemed like a rather obvious thing that was going to occur here, Ron, and sure enough, it has.
You're not a Hall of Famer for nothing.
Now the 1-0 to Nico Horner. He'll take a ball that gets away from Raleigh, and down to second goes Kelly. I did want to mention, after the game today, I'm going to head over to an establishment right near the ballpark. It's called Obvious Shirts. The proprietor there is Joe Johnson, a good man. He has done a lot of work with the Cubs over the years, but I'm going to be there. It's at the corner of Clark and Grace, and it's about a quarter of a mile away from Wrigley.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes the 2-0 pitch, and it's ball 3. But I'm going to be there signing shirts and signing. I have some scorecards, I think, that we're going to bring along, and we're going to have some fun, and I'll be there. Well, I'm probably going to head over about a half hour after the game is over, and maybe I'll see you there at Obvious Shirts. I'm sure you've seen them. If you're a Cub fan and you've been to Wrigley, you've seen the blue shirts with the white lettering in most cases, but he has a variety. And the pitch on the way, swinging a foul back. And I was surprised, Ron, we got to get a shirt for you. An Obvious shirt.
Okay.
Coon Dog.
That's pretty obvious.
Yeah. It's a
that's
again,
me.
It's just one of those things I noticed over the years.
Top of your game today. This heat's not getting to us, either one of us.
As far as I know, it's not.
Right.
You find yourself on a day like today, you're going to make a statement. You get about halfway through the statement, and you think, where am I going? Swinging a ground ball to short. Scooped up by Crawford. Sidearm throw low and dug out by Solano. A little surprised to see that casual sidearm flip throw by Crawford, but they got the job done. Cubs don't score, leave 1. It's on to inning number 8. Cubs 10, Mariners 6. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the Chicagoland area on the free Odyssey app. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Life offers us choices. When shopping for a luxury SUV, you should have the same benefit. The 2025 Lincoln Corsair SUV offers a traditional gas powertrain and the plug-in hybrid Grand Touring model. The spirit of choice continues with several available features to leave you reinvigorated, including perfect position massaging front seats, the jet appearance package, panoramic vista roof, and more. With an impressive list of both standard and available features, the right choice becomes clear. Discover it for yourself by visiting your local Lincoln retailer. Lincoln, the power of sanctuary.
Choosing a bottled Starbucks Frappuccino drink that's all flavor and just 100 calories? Easy. Choosing between creamy vanilla, double chocolate, and sea salt caramel flavors? A little harder. Try the delicious new Starbucks Frappuccino light drinks. Look for them wherever you buy groceries. Start with Starbucks coffee. When your morning needs an extra boost, choose Starbucks Double Shot Energy. And then choose between delicious ready-to-drink flavors like vanilla, mocha, or white chocolate. Look for them wherever you buy groceries. A good day starts with better coffee. Start with Starbucks coffee.
Spring day is the most righteous time to hit up your group chat, grab an ice-cold Mountain Dew Baja Blast with a wave of tropical lime flavor, and get outside. Because when the outdoors calls, it's good to have exhilarating ice-cold refreshment to answer.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me a river, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew.
Do the dew.
Top of inning number 8. Caleb Thielbar, the Cub left-hander, he came on to get the last out in that 7th inning, going to work on Ben Williamson. The first pitch in there for a strike. Some of the fans have headed for the exits. Cubs with a 4-run lead. Fly ball, right field, playable. Tucker coming in, battling the sun, and makes the catch. He held up the bare hand to block out the sun, and it worked. 1 down.
Yeah, as they've said all day, now the sun is going to be having to be dealt with in right field as opposed to center from earlier today. Nice play by Tuck in right field to make that catch.
J.P. Crawford swings and misses, nothing in 1.
It's 8th inning, sponsored by Cars for Kids, 877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars of the K to donate your car today.
Lefty to lefty, Thielbar to Crawford, a swing and a foul back. That's the idea, throw strikes. See how we did in the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Zach Zaidman the closest today. The actual figure, 39,047. Zach guessed 39 flat. Not only is Zach winning on a fairly regular basis, but these guesses are suspiciously close.
Yeah, it is. Kind of is what it is. Yeah. Thinks he's fooling us. I don't think so.
There's a liner foul down the right field line.
It would be different if the prize money was enormous, or if there was any at all.
I was going to say, did I miss a meeting somewhere? Now the 1-2 fouled away by Crawford. Hardest working player. How about every player on both teams today?
I agree with that.
Does that work?
Yes, sir.
Extremely hot, oppressively warm and sticky. This pitch is inside. It's 2-2. Hardest working players brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. Breaking ball got him looking. Strike 3 caught. Crawford is caught looking. 2 down, and the batter is Julio Rodriguez.
Little high slider right at the top of the zone. Might even have been a cutter, just got around the fastball at 92 miles an hour for Thielbar. So could have just gotten around his fastball a little bit, but right at the top of the zone. Let's go, so call strike 3.
Rodriguez takes low and in. 7th inning stretch was brought to you by the new Volvo XC90, designed for life. Now the 1-0 from Thielbar. Liner toward short, caught by a diving Dansby Swanson. Diving toward the middle. He's just one of the best shortstops you'll ever see. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's the Cubs 10 and the Mariners 6 on the score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs radio network.
Cub fans, Nico Horner here. Pat and Ron call every game on the Chicago Cubs radio network.
I don't mean to interrupt your meal, but I saw you from across the cafe, and you're the Geico Gecko, right?
In the flesh.
Oh, my goodness. This is huge to finally meet you. I love Geico's fast and friendly claim service.
Well, that's how Geico gets 97% customer satisfaction.
Anyway, that's all. Enjoy the rest of your food.
No worries. So are you just going to watch me eat?
Oh, sorry. Just a little starstruck. I'll be on my way.
If you're going to stick around, just pull up a chair.
You're the best.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Life offers us choices. When shopping for a luxury SUV, you should have the same benefit. The 2025 Lincoln Corsair SUV offers a traditional gas powertrain and the plug-in hybrid Grand Touring model. The spirit of choice continues with several available features to leave you reinvigorated, including perfect position massaging front seats, the jet appearance package, panoramic vista roof, and more. With an impressive list of both standard and available features, the right choice becomes clear. Discover it for yourself by visiting your local Lincoln retailer. Lincoln, the power of sanctuary.
Morning decisions. A creamy mocha frappuccino drink? A sweet vanilla? Maybe a smooth caramel? Or that white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Start your day with bottled Starbucks Frappuccino drinks. Pick up a bottle near you wherever you buy your groceries.
When your morning needs an extra boost, choose Starbucks Double Shot Energy. And then choose between delicious ready-to-drink flavors like vanilla, mocha, or white chocolate. Look for them wherever you buy groceries. A good day starts with better coffee. Start with Starbucks coffee.
Spring day is the most righteous time to hit up your group chat, grab an ice-cold Mountain Dew Baja Blast with a wave of tropical lime flavor, and get outside. Because when the outdoors calls, it's good to have exhilarating ice-cold refreshment to answer.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me a river, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew.
Do the do.
A reminder to make your Chicago Cubs players all-stars. Cast your 2025 Pro Spirit MLB All-Star ballot daily at Cubs.com/all-star. Huh?
Zach, thank you. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Cubs enjoying a 10-6 lead. Trent Thornton still pitching. The right-hander misses outside to Vidal Brujan. Vidal has walked, struck out, and grounded out. Let's see if he can get a base hit. Had that big stolen base in the Sunday game against the Pirates last weekend. It was right before Ian Happ drove in Brujan with the winning run. Cubs took 3 out of 4 against the Buccos. They split 2 with Milwaukee. And now trying to even up this series at a win apiece against Seattle with 1 more to go tomorrow. Swinging a foul back out of play. It's always amazing how fast homestands go compared to, say, a 10-game road trip.
You notice that throughout these years. Always.
Now the 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
The 3 city ones are the ones, and we used to have longer ones, when you play the 4-game series. And remember, you play the 4-game series, 2 of the 3 cities on the trip, and it just seemed like you were gone for a month.
But every team has them. Ian Happ, the batter, 1 away, nobody on. As Brujan struck out, and here's a pitch, strike to Happ. I've used this statement before. I think it was Denny Matthews, the Hall of Fame announcer for the Kansas City Royals, who first brought it up. He said, a Major League Baseball schedule does no team any favors. It pretty much says it all.
Yeah, it really does. It's just relentless. That's the thing. You know, all the sports have their parts of their schedule and the way the games get played and all that have their very difficult parts, whether you're playing football and it's the contact and getting clobbered. Hockey, same thing. The tough on the body in basketball and schedule with those. In baseball, you know, it's tough on your body because it's every day. It's relentless. The schedule from the middle of February to start of spring till, you know, beginning of November for 2 lucky teams that get to play in the World Series.
And I think the travel is perhaps one of the most misunderstood aspects of the baseball business, and how difficult and demanding and the number of days away from home that the average person does not, you just don't travel that much. So you don't really understand or appreciate it. Not complaining. It's part of the deal. And I've known that for a long time. But those trips can be very challenging.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It is. It's our game.
2-2 on Ian Happ. Ian with 2 homers today and 2 strikeouts. Change up outside, Ron.
Like to see him hit a home run. He'd have a full house.
He really would.
Homers over K's. That'd be good.
I haven't seen that lately. Nor have I heard that phrase. With
homers
that
over
combo.
Kings. That would be all right, right?
And the 3-2 to Happ. He takes inside, ball 4.
2 pair.
1 out, 1 on. And now the pitcher, Trent Thornton, does a deep knee bend behind the mound, and the trainer is going to go out and take a look at him.
Yeah, everybody that's playing in this game, you just know everybody's having issues. There's no doubt. It's just a tough day to play.
92 degrees at game time, and it has not cooled off 1 iota. And now the pitcher staggering a little bit. He's going to have to leave the game.
I think. Let's see now.
Yeah, he almost fell down. And they're going to have to get some hydration in him. And
oh, yeah, that's exactly what it is. He was bending up and down. I thought he might have hurt his knee, but to your point, I just think they're getting water in him right away. I bet he's just absolutely cramping up, and you just can't keep enough water in. And he's dragging his leg, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be helped off. Trent Thornton. He's got his arms draped around one of the coaches, I believe, and a trainer.
I think that's Danny Wilson, yeah. Yeah.
And they'll need a new man to come in. It might be Casey Legomina. And that's what it's going to be. So a pitching change forthcoming. Pitching changes by the opposition. Those are sponsored by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Visit sloan.com. Last of the 8th inning. 10-6, the Cubs lead, and we'll be back with more right after this on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Join us for some Cubs talk every morning. Mully and Haw, mornings 5:30 to 10 on The Score.
You're about to head out and your phone starts blowing up. The temptation is real. What if it's your situationship texting back? Even if it is, what are you going to do? Respond now? It's getting thirsty. You turn on Do Not Disturb. Smart move. Your roster is a train wreck, but your driving doesn't have to be. Drop it and drive. Think you could put down the phone and pick up some points? Head to itsnotagameillinois.com to play the retro arcade.
Hey, baseball fans, now at Verizon, they are knocking it out of the park with low prices locked in for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan. Get a single line for just $45 a month when you switch and bring your phone. That's their best price ever on unlimited welcome with auto pay plus taxes and fees. Only on the network you can count on. Slide into your local Chicago Verizon store today.
$20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rates. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Checking the Major League Baseball scoreboard, top of the 11th inning in St. Louis. The Cardinals and Reds still tied at 5. Nolan Arenado hit a game-tying solo home run in the last of the ninth to send it to the extra session. And again, Cardinals and Reds still tied at 5 in the top of the 11th. Blue Jays have just beaten the White Sox 7-1. The Giants leading the Red Sox 3-0. Bottom of the fifth in San Francisco. Rafael Devers hitting his first home run with the Giants. It comes against the team that traded him, the Red Sox. The Rangers, a 1-0 lead over the Pirates. Bottom of the fifth inning. The Braves lead the Marlins 1-0. Top of the fifth. Marcell Ozuna with an RBI double. A bunch of finals on the board. Christopher Morel, a home run for Tampa as the Rays beat the Tigers 8-3. The Yankees crushed the Orioles 9-0. Clark Schmidt went 7 innings, did not allow a hit or a run. And the Brewers with a 9-0 drubbing of the Twins. Pat?
Zach, thank you. Casey Legumina, the new pitcher for Seattle. Last of the 8th inning with 1 away. A runner at first. Cubs lead 10-6. And Tucker swings and misses. And as Zach was giving us the scores, I'll bet that does not surprise you one iota that Rafael Devers' first homer as a Giant came against his former team, the Red Sox.
Not at all. When you know that the trade came across the wire and you heard about it, and then, you know, the very next day we showed up here at the ballpark and found out that the Giants were going to be hosting the Red Sox right away. And you go, well, you know what's going to happen there. Yeah, and sure enough.
Short lead by Ian Happ at first. Here's a fly ball into shallow center. Racing in, Rodriguez makes a running catch. Happ has to hustle back safely to first.
Nice play by Rodriguez in center. He's been very good center fielder, and I mean very good for a long time. Nice play. Challenges by Cubs and instant replays by the managers. They're taking a second look. Second opinion's always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine. Catch of the game, you called Ian Hamp's catch. That's sponsored by Catch Des Moines. Pitch in for a strike to Seiya. Discover the weekend getaway in Des Moines where only the S are silent. Find all the fun at CatchDesMoines.com.
The next pitch by Legumina is going to be in there for a call. Strike 2 to Seiya. Suzuki on the outside looking in. He's 0 for 4 today. And let's see if he can get a knock. He takes strike 3 call. Suzuki slams the bat down in frustration. Cubs do nothing. Time to fasten those seatbelts. We go to the 9th inning. Cubs 10, Mariners 6 on the Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Talking Cubs Monday through Friday afternoons with Spiegel and Holmes, 2 to 6 on the Score.
Life offers us choices. When shopping for a luxury SUV, you should have the same benefit. The 2025 Lincoln Corsair SUV offers a traditional gas powertrain and the plug-in hybrid Grand Touring model. The spirit of choice continues with several available features to leave you reinvigorated, including perfect position massaging front seats, the jet appearance package, panoramic vista roof, and more. With an impressive list of both standard and available features, the right choice becomes clear. Discover it for yourself by visiting your local Lincoln retailer. Lincoln, the power of sanctuary.
A spring day is the most righteous time to hit up your group chat, grab an ice-cold Mountain Dew Baja Blast with a wave of tropical lime flavor, and get outside. Because when the outdoors calls, it's good to have exhilarating ice-cold refreshment to answer.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me a river, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew.
Do the dew.
When Ram won its first Motor Trend Truck of the Year, it was celebrated. But after 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. And now, so does the deal with Employee Pricing Plus. Stop by your local dealer today and take home a Ram truck. Ram, 7-time Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Nothing stops Ram.
Offer valid on select 2024 and 2025 Rams for non-FCA employees and retirees. $200 admin fee applies. Not all buyers will qualify. Restrictions apply. Does not apply to leases. See dealer for details. And 6/30/25. Ram is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. Pat?
Matt Shaw enters the game to play third base for this final inning. Daniel Palencia, in what is not a safe situation, is on to pitch, but he has been sharp out of late. Palencia, 25 games, a nice 1.67 ERA. When I hear an ERA like that, I don't think you really need all the numbers.
No.
That's plenty for me.
Yeah, that tells the story.
There's the 1-0, swinging a foul back. Some boats on Lake Michigan today. Quite a few, as a matter of fact. Now the 1-1 to Cal Raleigh. And Raleigh takes high. Here's your basic power against power matchup. The current Major League Baseball home run leader against a guy that throws 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, there's no doubt about this. This guy's got a very good, quiet approach to the plate with big-time pop in his bat.
He hits a drive to left. Going back is Happ near the wall in left field, and that's going to sail out of here. Opposite field home run for Cal Raleigh, his 30th of the year. And now it's a 10-7 ball game.
Now, the thing about Raleigh is his approach to plate is very sound, obviously. But he doesn't always try to hook the ball. He keeps his bat, and we've talked about this, in that hitting zone for a long time, and he gets this pitch, catches it a little deep, hits it high in the air. And once it was up in the air, you knew this was trouble. And lands about 3 rows deep in the bleachers.
Raleigh's 30th, his 64th run batted in. And to repeat, he broke Johnny Bench's record yesterday for the most homers by a catcher in big league history before the All-Star break. Bench had 28 back in 1970. And now Raleigh has 30. Here's a high pop fly on the infield. Who wants it? Michael Bush at first base. Might have been the only one to really see the ball, makes the catch. If he didn't catch it, I'm not sure who would have, Ron.
Nobody. It's going to drop in. The thing for Seattle, Polanco didn't run this ball out. This ball lands in fair territory halfway down the line at first. Michael catches it in the infield grass in fair territory, and Polanco wasn't to Bushy yet. That's one of those plays. You got to hit the ball. You got to run.
Cubs lead 10-7. Randy Arozarena will take a strike. Very windy, very hot, very humid. At the end of the day, the Cubs just want to walk away with a big old W.
Stolen bases today have been powered by Turo Tires, Chicago's hometown tire. Find a dealer at Turo.com.
Now the strike 2 pitch by Palencia. Fastball is high. That came in at 100 miles an hour. On a day like today, it probably seemed like it was about 105.
Tough plays in the game today. How about all of them? Sponsored by Loyola Medicine. Loyola Medicine defines tough.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Arozarena out number 2. Nothing fancy.
Yeah, just gas right at the top of the zone, over 100 miles an hour. Just threw that one right past Arozarena.
Cubs trying to get back to 16 games above 500. Luke Raley, the batter. And he'll line a base hit to right. It's not over yet. Rayleigh, a first pitch single. And Donovan Solano coming up. 14 hits for Seattle, and they are trailing 10-7.
Yeah, how about that? Designated hitters for the Cubs is always powered by BBQ Authority. Visit BBQ Authority in Lisle.
Solano a 3-for-4 day, right-handed batter. And the pitch on the way. Breaking ball missed somewhere. The stretch by the strong right-hander Palencia. The pitch. Pop fly. This might do it. Foul territory, playable, and Cubs win. Carson Kelly making the catch of that foul pop fly. And the Cubs have evened up the series with a 10-7 win in extremely difficult conditions for all of the ball players here today, Ron. It was a struggle from the first inning right to the last out.
Yeah, the very first inning, you could see this game was not going to be easy. The pitchers had a heck of a time just trying to get outs and keep the ball in the ballpark, which was a chore. Cubs with 2 bombs. Ian with a home run in the first. Tucker with a home run. Cubs kept pounding away. Both teams did a great job. I'll tell you what, it's a big tip of the cap. A lot of these guys, you catch this game today between Raleigh and Kelly today, boy, that's a battle. Really is. And just a very nice ball game for the Cubs. A good win for the Cubs today.
Post-game show reminder. That's coming up in a few moments. Bruce Levine of the Score is down in the dugout. The 9th inning brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. And we'll get to the toast of the game perhaps after Bruce Levine's interview. Toast of the game presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. Benny's is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. And again, we'll get to that later on, but our thanks to Benny's for being a great sponsor for many, many years. And now somebody is down on the field. And Ron, we're looking down there. They're attending to one of the. Is it one of the players?
No, it's one of the umpires. I think just kind of laid down because of the heat.
Let's go down to Bruce Levine. Bruce, take it away.
All right, Pat and Ron, I'm here with Carson Kelly, and we're watching somebody being attended to here, one of the umpires, and just such a rough day. To me, you and Raleigh are the stars of the game. We're catching 9 innings here. How difficult is it? I mean, you had 91 degrees, conditions unbelievable, people dropping left and right. What exactly do you have to do to be able to get through this?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a hot one. We got to stay hydrated. I mean, hopefully we're doing okay over here. And, it's just one of those things. You got to take it one pitch at a time and stay locked in and stay as hydrated as possible.
Let's go back to the 6th inning because that was the game. There were so many big moments here. But you getting Brad Keller through that inning and him pitching great like he did, I thought that was the save there. That was the ball game. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, he came in a big spot and made pitches. And, that was a big turning point to this game. And, Brad did a tremendous job for us today coming in. And, the boys scored enough runs to keep that lead. So, all in all, a good day for the boys.
Congratulations on the win. Go get yourself hydrated, and you're going to Chicago Cup for the best steak in Chicago. Thanks again.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, back to you. I will stay down here with you to make sure that everything's all right if you want me to.
Okay, Bruce, thank you. It appears that one of the umpires, Dexter Kelly,
I believe that's
is
correct.
laying down.